What's up, guys? Welcome back to Kinda Funny's XCU in Review. That's right. Every week, Thursday at 9 a.m. right here on youtube.com/kindafunny, we review and rank one of the X-Men Cinematic Universe movies. It's been a really good time so far. Today we are reviewing The Wolverine. I'm Tim Gettys. This is Andy Cortez. That's Kevin Coelho. That's Greg Miller.
Hi.
And right over there, Nick Scarpino.
To your immediate left.
To my immediate right, I guess.
Immediate right. Yeah.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
that's how clocks work, and everyone is science.
It's the word immediate that like really throws everything off.
Well, normally when you say something's to your immediate left or right, it is literally the thing right next to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I like to expand on the English language.
I totally get it, man, and I appreciate
Take
you.
your liberties, Nick. Yeah.
Exactly. You know how like literally doesn't mean literally anymore?
That's true.
It still
That's true.
does.
Well, it
Immediate
also
doesn't
means
mean
It
not
can
literal.
also not mean literally.
Well,
It can
immediate
mean a
can
lot
now
of
mean
things.
Means nothing.
right next to you or really far away.
Those are options that I like. Options like the ones that you have. You can watch this video or you can listen to it on podcast services around the globe. Just search for Kinda Funny Reviews in your favorite podcast service.
Tim's been really working on his segues.
How's it going?
It's all right, man.
I kind of just black out till it's my turn to talk. I don't know what anybody says.
Well, speaking of that, Greg.
Yeah.
I would love to
It
like
is
cut to
about
Greg
to
and
be.
Greg just be like, like asleep in the
We
back.
promised this for weeks. But before we get to our The Wolverine review,
Right.
we're going to move from XCU in review into MCU in review.
Play
We gotta
the
find-
song.
Dun, 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 MCU. Dun, 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 dun. We're
In
watching for
review.
you. Oh, I could have said that.
Yeah.
Cool,
I went
Greg,
with
please bring up the rankings.
I went with it.
These are our current rankings
Sure.
of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Number 1, Avengers Infinity War. Number 2, Spider-Man Homecoming. Number 3, Captain America Civil War. Number 4, Thor Ragnarok. Number 5, Captain America Winter Soldier. Number 6, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Number 7, Avengers. Number 8, Guardians 1. Number 9, Iron Man. Number 10, Black Panther. Number 11, Doctor Strange. Number 12, Ant-Man. Number 13, Iron Man 2. Number 14, Avengers Age of Ultron. Number 15, Captain America The First Avenger. Number 16, Iron Man 3. Number 17, The Incredible Hulk. Number 18, Thor. Number 19, Thor The Dark World. You were up in Montreal, so
Correct.
you missed out on our review of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Correct.
But you finally did watch it.
Yes.
And so now we need to have that discussion.
There's a
about
tiebreaker,
where
apparently.
does it
I
rank?
need to be the
Yes, we need to-
tiebreaker.
We need to vote.
Okay.
I don't remember what I said before. Do you guys?
I think the decision was either it's going to be 12 or 11. Is it going to be above Doctor
Oh, so
Strange?
is it better than Doctor Strange?
Yeah, we all vote. We all said it's better than Ant-Man 1. The question is it better than Doctor Strange? Because I don't think there was a question of whether or not it was going to beat Black Panther, right?
I thought it was a question of whether or not
think
it
it
was
was-
better than Iron Man.
I think that's where we
That's
stood.
what I thought
yeah.
it was. Yeah.
Me and
Jesus
Tim
Christ,
said it was
guys.
better than
I'll
Iron
leave you
Man.
alone for 1 week and it fucks everything up this bad.
Potentially.
Andy and I
Well,
said
it
it
doesn't
wasn't
matter.
better than Black Panther.
Me and Nick had it at 12 under Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So
And
my-
then Kevin had it like above Black Panther, and you had it above Iron Man.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what it is. 'Cause
I think
honestly
I had
feel
it like I was like, let's put it all the way up to like Avengers, around that range.
above Avengers or
think so.
below?
No,
Avengers?
below Avengers.
So
No.
above Guardians 1?
No, it must have been above Iron
You
Man.
had it above
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah, all right, there it is. It's okay. I fucked up,
It
man.
doesn't
That was
matter.
my fault.
We can change.
Oh my god, it's so
been-
nice to be
been
able to
a-
cuss again.
Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks since.
Should we
since
just
saw the
revote?
movie,
Let's
so
just
we got-
revote.
Yeah, it's totally revote. But that's the thing
Revote.
is, I can see an argument for anywhere between 12 and 9. Because all those movies to me are like the exact same kind of category of like mid-tier MCU of it's a good movie.
Okay.
Iron Man's in there.
Yeah.
He's hated Iron Man since the beginning. He's a hating ass hater.
Remember when you used to
No,
hate
that's
Captain
true.
America?
Yeah.
Boy,
And
how
I,
it
and I-
changed.
yeah, and I came around to the right side of
God
history.
bless
You know what I mean?
God bless you, sweet angel.
I never hated Iron Man. I love Iron Man. It just there's been better movies.
I think he just agreed with you when
been
you
a
were
while.
saying it.
I know,
Remember?
better
Right,
movies.
right.
He was like,
All right, so
Where you at?
Who votes that it's above 12?
Well, I mean,
Obviously
we
everyone,
need to
right?
hear Greg's thoughts.
no, you don't. You already did your whole review of it. It's fine. It's more Ant-Man, more of another movie from the guys.
Would you put it above or below Doctor Strange?
I put it below Doctor Strange. I would put it at number 12.
There it
All right, well,
is.
there it is.
So
Number,
you
the
think
new
it's better
number
than
12.
Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone think that it's who thinks it's better than Doctor Strange?
Well, that's it. That's where
There
it
you go.
stays.
Motion
It is
carries.
now number 12 above Ant-Man. I'm not going to read them. You already know. I just
Too
did
many.
it. Pull it away. Now it's
I
time
wanna
to
know what-
review
Wait, are we showing the new one
the
now?
Wolverine. Yeah, sure. Well, cool, Greg. Can you put the new ranking in there so people can see it? Thank you. The Wolverine.
We're moving on to the Wolverine now. We're back to XCU
XCU review. Do we
Andy,
have-
hit the song.
Na, 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 na. X-Men. Na, na, na,
Yes.
na,
Oh, I thought we were just.
Yeah. We're just saying X-Men.
Yeah.
F11.
The Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
Released on July 24th, 2013. Directed by James Mangold, who I did not remember until Nick reminded me. The same guy that directed Logan later.
That's crazy.
He also is a writer on Oliver and Company,
There it is.
the hit Disney movie from
Great movie.
1988.
Great movie.
Yep.
He directed Kate and Leopold.
Okay,
Not
that's
so
where
much
the
a great
Not
movie.
that's where the
terrible.
Hugh Jackman connection comes in.
Walk
she
the
wanted to fuck
Line.
her grandfather.
The Johnny
Great movie.
Cash.
Great
Was
movie.
he the grandfather?
Great movie. I never watched that. I just remember what people told me after the fact.
I was thinking
Great
Walk the
movie.
Line was a Man on Wire.
No.
Okay.
And Walk the Line was Johnny Cash.
Walk the Line. Great movie.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Joaquin Phoenix.
That Hurt song, man. I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Gets me.
Reese
Didn't they use
Witherspoon.
that
Logan.
again
Used
for
in
Logan?
yeah. Very
trailer
good use
Logan,
of it.
yeah.
And for Eddie Guerrero's
Cool guy.
tribute.
Yeah,
Oh
there you
my
go.
God.
It was really
Can I get
emotional.
ice water?
Really emotional. And then, yeah, eventually Logan, which it just blows my mind.
How's it blow your mind?
You could, just that like, he got another shot to do it right.
Well, I think it's important to point out right now, if you're just listening, you're not watching. We watched the Wolverine unrated cut. And I'll agree with you that, yeah, when I saw the Wolverine in theaters, it was like, oh, it's like a forgettable film.
Yep.
Yeah, this isn't Wolverine. And then to watch this unrated cut, be like, fuck. Like, you can totally see where this is a
can see it.
precursor to
Yeah,
Logan, especially when they're going to be like,
absolutely.
it's R-rated. Just be R-rated. Go be R-rated.
Totally. And the funny thing is, we're acting like they're super different. I looked into all the differences. There's about 12 minutes total of difference.
I thought it
and
was
it's
30 minutes of
12
difference.
minutes of
Are
difference.
you sure?
I went through scene by scene. It's not that different.
It's a lot
But
more
there's a lot
gory
more
and there's a lot
blood,
more
right?
There's a lot more
There's
digital
blood.
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like little changes, which do definitely affect
Yeah.
it. But like the scene where they all kill themselves in the beginning,
Yeah.
like you don't see the sword in the other movie. But you just see it kind of like go through him.
Yeah.
But in this one, you see the shot of it actually going into his
Yeah,
stomach.
that first scene was fucking intense.
Oh yeah.
And it was good.
It was a great set. Yeah, great pace setting.
And
yeah.
that was really
Film
cool about
setting.
this because I don't think I've seen the original theatrical release version for like years at this point.
Oh, God, no,
So
yeah.
going back and watching it, really my only point of context for it was Logan. And so you say it's weird that James Mangold. If I were an exec looking at that and I had seen that first cut or a cut that was a lot more gory and violent, and we were thinking about doing a rated R one, I'd be like, absolutely, got to hire this guy back because I think
I'm
he's
not saying
learned
it's
so
weird in
much from
terms.
that.
I'm saying it's weird in terms of that's the right call and they actually made it.
Oh, yeah,
I
it's
think it's
weird.
weird that like we're at a
That
point
is
that
weird.
because of Deadpool, they're like R-rated movies can work. We're gonna go back to the guy that proved that he could make it work. He just didn't get the chance to.
And I
I
think
kept him on the leash.
I think he's really
Now,
good. They're like,
unleashed.
oh, wow, that's good. That's real good.
What?
This is me and Eddie's first time watching this
Yeah.
movie.
What
Which
did
is
you
the
guys
first
think?
for
What'd you
the MCU review. I thought it was again. We still haven't hit a point that we got a great X-Men movie.
No.
Yeah.
But it's good.
It was
I thought
better
this
than I
was
thought it
much
would be.
better, yeah.
Better than I thought it would be, but at the end of it, I'd like, not even at the end of it. During most of it, I was like, why does this exist? Like,
I feel
so
like
weird.
if they had gotten rid of this, like, what was her name?
Viper?
Viper.
Yeah, dude.
It would
she was
have
a
been a
bad
much
character.
stronger
Sure.
and better movie.
See, the thing I
But
liked
they
about
did
this,
it.
though, watching it in the theaters, was remember context-wise, there was all we had before this was X-Men Origins Wolverine, which was not a really good standalone
terrible,
story.
which
It
is
really
awful.
needed a lot of other elements to support it. You were like, "What's going on?" This I remember seeing, going, "Hey, you know what? I bet they could make a really good standalone like Wolverine
Yeah.
movie that still pays homage to the things that have happened before." And obviously, we're getting some of the narrative threads that came after Last Stand and all that stuff in this one. But I just was like, it's really cool to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in Japan.
And
It's just a
it's
fun
like,
movie.
Don't get me wrong, it's not beat for beat, but this was a story so many people wanted told, right? This is a classic comic book story that even I've read of, Logan going to Japan, running into Mariko and all that stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I enjoyed the movie a lot. I feel like if Logan didn't exist, I would like it a lot more.
Yeah.
It just, I feel like
Very
Logan makes
interesting.
this movie almost obsolete.
Yeah.
Where
I'll agree with that.
Interesting, yeah.
It's beat for beat, it's pretty much the same story. And like, you
Yeah.
can change some things up, but it's like him being a bodyguard to a girl. It's like there's a lot of similarities going through.
I think you got to give this a little credit though.
Totally.
Because we would not get Logan without this.
100%.
Everyone at Fox was like, that almost worked. Almost worked. If we give this guy a second shot, maybe it can. I think that's where the trust was built.
Some fun things here.
Give me some
facts.
fun funs.
In October 2010, Darren Aronofsky was hired to direct the
I
film.
remember that.
The project
Everyone
was delayed.
So excited about
That would have
that.
been awesome. Straight out of Black Swan. Let's
Yeah,
fucking go.
yeah.
The project was delayed following Aronofsky's departure and the earthquake and tsunami that happened in March 2011. Aronofsky decided not to do the movie because he didn't want to be away from his family that long, and they would have to be in Japan and in a whole bunch of places for it. So he was like, nah, not going to do it. Hugh Jackman is a self-confessed fan of the Chris Claremont, Frank Miller Wolverine comic from 1982, especially the Japanese saga. He says, quote, "There are so many areas of that Japanese story. I love the idea of this kind of anarchic character, the outsider, being in this world full of honor and tradition and customs, someone who's really anti all of that and trying to negotiate his own way. The idea of the samurai too and the tradition there, it's really great. In the comic book, he gets his ass kicked by a couple of samurai, not even mutants. It's a cool idea, and I feel like they did a good job showing that in this.
And I feel like the style came through on this too, right? Like you're starting to see these movies have a little bit less of a, hey, we're just making a movie, and more like, hey, we're making a comic book movie. We actually have some style. We're having some fun with this. We're taking some liberties. I remember about 30 minutes in, my wife was watching with me, and she really liked Logan. And one of her praises for the movie was, she was like, "This does actually feel like we're making a story about this character that just happens to have his powers." And that's why we're really
transcending a comic book.
Yeah,
movie.
like even the very beginning of it, where it has really nothing to do with anything except for World War II. That first scene was just really intense, and they put you in like, what would it be like if you could survive the atomic bomb being dropped on Nagasaki? Like, what would it be like if you actually feel terror, you know?
Yeah.
And you don't get a lot of that even in Marvel, a lot of the modern Marvel movies, because again, X-Men, while it doesn't always treat it the best, deals with those darker tones, deals with those darker themes. And this one was like, dude, when they cut to him and he's like, like he's
Just
burned
nuts, man.
alive.
Oh man,
almost.
that looks so painful.
The first
man.
like 3 minutes of this movie, because you don't see Wolverine himself.
He's just sitting there
for a
clawed
while.
up, like
the
looking
first 3
up.
minutes, Gia looked at me, she's like, "Is this the movie?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, they went with a totally
It's
different
dark.
looks, but it starts off very bright. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and then it gets dark really quickly.
what I
but,
mean
like,
dark is like dark is tonally like.
But visually, it's super bright and it's super wide vistas. And I'm like, man, this is a really different look than anything we've seen so far in the X-Men movies, which are 90% forests.
Well, I think it benefits too from the fact, I mean, you look through this, and even comparing to Origins, right? It's a movie that tells, and I know it's such a trite thing to say now, but a smaller story where it is very much the relationships to Logan, right? In terms of he's the main character. It's not like X-Men where we're juggling a million things. It's not like X-Men Origins Wolverine where there's also Sabretooth and then fucking Will.i.am and then all these other this group that has to get their moment and has to shine and have to have these things happen for them.
The amount of mutants in this movie, I think, is really impressive.
Yeah.
Like, they really were just like, we're not going to go too crazy. And it does suck because, like, Viper is the
3,
weakest
right?
part. And it's like, I wish that they didn't even have her, because it
Sure.
would have been so much stronger if it was, hey, here's mutants in this other world. And it would have added to, he's not only different just because he's not Japanese, he's also a mutant that gets treated differently, especially in a world.
You couldn't just have some mad
Post-Last
scientist,
Stand.
right? Like Viper's character
Right.
remain a scientist. Instead, she's got to be a fucking, I'm going to peel off my skin and
I'm
spit shit
immune
in his
to all
face and do all
poisons.
stuff.
Fucking
All
bullshit.
right.
And like that, I know we're jumping around a little bit here.
We'll do
but,
what we
like,
want. It's our show.
Yeah. But something that really upset me about Viper is I thought that it was a bold choice to kind of weaken Wolverine's healing
Healing,
power
yeah, it was
early
cool.
on. And like, it's cool and it's good storytelling, and it gives a lot of context to like why just dealing with these fucking street
It's a
people.
constant worry. Like every time he's going to go into battle,
Yep.
you're like, oh shit.
Oh, shit,
Like,
He
he's
could actually
actually
take
getting
and,
damage.
and he's limping, and it's like you see him like you see him weak.
But my problem with it is it took 2 hours till we got the reveal of why he was weaker.
Yeah.
Because for
Which
a long time you
is
just
like-
saw her go with
Yeah,
some
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shit, and then she put one of those metal things in him. I'm like, this doesn't add up.
doesn't
And that
matter.
was attacking his heart, and that was making him weak. Why couldn't it just be that, like, there's a special metal that he can't heal? Like, they just stuck a needle of that and cracked it inside of him, you know?
Yeah, I really
Well, no,
didn't like that.
I assumed it was going to be because she was continually poisoning him.
No.
And that, like, she was, because remember how, like, when he drinks the tea at the very beginning, it's got
Yeah,
the green
it's got the
tint,
green shit
and
coming
she's
off
breathing
it,
on
yeah.
him. And I thought that was going to have some level of payoff at the end. And I thought all the dream sequences were caused by her as well. Similar to how they kind of were.
That
you
was
know,
interesting,
He was
the
being
dream
manipulated by what's her name in
Jean Grey?
in the Wolverine. Remember, there was a woman who was like, "I want to touch you," and like do all this, like, I'm in your
yeah.
life manipulating you.
yeah.
I thought that was going to be another one of those, but no, it just turns out it's
Most-
the little squid thing from Matrix was in his heart, and that was for whatever
I'm happy
reason.
the dream sequences weren't caused by someone else. I like that it really is just him dealing with
His
the
PTSD
guilt
sort of shit.
of-
You don't think
Yeah.
there's
Killing
any
her.
possibility that Gene is still a
That was
little
my
bit in
thing.
there?
I watching it, like, I think it's open to interpretation if it's just a dream or if it is like a psychic echo, because Jean is so strong,
Yeah.
she's left like an imprint on him. And I like that. For me personally as a viewer, I like that idea that she's such a high level mutant that she did this fucking
Yeah,
thing,
dying
and
didn't
she's like
quite do it.
totally an echo in his brain that he is talking to, not like communicating beyond the grave. grave, but she's in there.
One of the trivia things that I read is they were originally going to have the first draft of the script had Rogue kind of telling Logan not to go to Japan. And like him being like, you know what, I got to, and then she would follow him, and she was gonna be like kind of his like sidekick character, and they cut that out. And I'm like, that could have been interesting for the mythology of what that they've built, but I'm happy they didn't go with that route because like keeping it kind of just him alone was
It's really
was
cool
good.
'cause it puts him on
Although
an island.
him with this girl, I'm like, do they need a love thing going on? They didn't.
What, America?
So forced.
Yeah, so forced.
I didn't like him with
Her style was
Yukio.
on point though. I'm not gonna lie. That last scene where he looks out the window and she's just like
Yeah,
cool
she's just
looking,
sitting there like Beyonce on
like
the,
with
on
those
the tarmac.
pencil thin pants. I was like, damn, dude. I was like, I
She
know what
is a
she's doing.
business owner. She is a giant business
Yeah, it
corporation.
just, that whole relationship seemed like, hey, we're here together. Let's
I'm a guy, you're a girl.
Yeah.
That's pulled from the
That's what
comics as
happens,
well,
though.
right? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, they want to do that and stuff.
Doesn't make it
It's
good.
I
still
agree
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
didn't feel like they had chemistry, and I think I wouldn't have had. The weird part is I felt like Hugh Jackman struggled for chemistry with both the female leads, and I so I don't mean just romantically. I mean just in general with like talking to them.
With Yukio too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least in the
I
beginning. By the
hated it.
end, like when they're on the plane, it's a little bit okay because we know her and we know him. But it was just like I didn't feel like
Hi,
something was
Yukio.
going.
Yukio. Is
Yeah.
it the same Yukio?
It's the same
Oh,
Yukio.
I
Same
love that.
Yukio, different
Yeah.
actress and character.
That's
Different
awesome.
powers too.
That is awesome.
So is it the same Yukio at all or no?
It is the same.
but
Yukio.
different
it's-
actor,
it's-
different
it's
powers.
It's XCU.
Yeah.
It's the same character, but
In
like
continuity.
different timelines and whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, that's that. But real quick,
So great.
budget of 115 million. For reference, X1 was 75, and then First Class ended up being 125. So this was a step down. Obviously, not as many actors involved. But interesting. Usually the budget keeps going up.
Yeah.
It did make more money than First Class. Box office of 414.8 million. First Class only had 407.7.
People
What's the year
like
difference between
Wolverine.
these two?
People really
Would
like
they come out a year after each other or a couple
1 year
years?
after each other.
Interesting,
Wait,
because
no,
I'll-
that's not right.
2011 was
2011 and then
First
2013. Days of
Okay.
Future Past is 1 year after this.
I was gonna say because the effects in this one
So
seem
much better.
So much better.
His claws finally
They
don't
look
look
great.
horrible.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
they look
They said
great.
it really, like, and when we get to the Silver Samurai at the end, I remember that. I remembered it being not very good, but the effect was good.
Yeah.
like it was a soul. The character,
Terrible.
instead of the story,
Fucking
the
old ass
actual-
man's head comes out. I got
Fucking
you.
barely peeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when she pulled off her skin, Viper,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that surprisingly does not look bad.
No,
And it
why she's
reminded me-
doing it beyond me? Who
Yeah.
cares?
Totally
'Cause she just
stupid.
pulled her skin off, and there's just her
Did she
underneath it.
die and then come back to life and like? Oh,
She
God.
never died. No,
It was a
No,
bad
because she
character.
like fell a whole bunch.
That was weird.
Yeah.
They beat the fuck out of her.
Yep.
And again,
It
X-Men,
looked like
it's
she
like, I
was
guess they're
dying and
mutants.
like reviving
Yeah.
and pulling off the skin, and it was just like, what? Why are you bald now?
I expected her to be on the ground, and fucking Yukio comes with a goddamn shredder and just fucking
Awesome.
shoots her
Awesome.
blood on the
Dude,
side of
that
the
scene
wall.
was intense.
That poor little village it just has the DNA
think-
of
I love
many
that.
men.
We'll give
I
it
think
when we
that
do the recap,
village.
but-
I think that village, like all the ninjas came from that village. I think they bled all over their house.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Greg,
Yeah.
hit us with that
Kick
plot.
it.
So, if you thought starting in a concentration camp was too serious, let's start in Nagasaki, everybody.
POW camp.
There they are, POW camp, Japanese camp. We see the bombers come in. Everybody goes into full-blown panic mode. And our friend Yoshida, he's the only guy with a heart of gold who knows that, hey, man, at least let these people run before their skin gets blown off their bones. You know what I mean? He runs over there and he uses his awesome samurai sword to open up the POW thing. People are rushing out of there. The guys in the crow's nest start shooting. He's like, no, don't shoot at them.
He's like, don't shoot him, man. They're all dead anyway.
And yeah, over there we'd seen the hot box or whatever, and Wolverine down there, shirtless, with claws in the walls, looking out through his little like tank topper. But it's just like
I love that shot,
He's in the
dude.
I
fucking
love
hole.
that shot
Yeah,
too.
it was
It's
awesome.
so
like,
cool.
The entire
Like,
hole
how's
was
he
awesome.
elevating himself, and he's just like,
And so he runs over there, he's shooting, he's like, should I open it? Should I not open it? I don't fucking know. Guy opens it up. He's like, I got to do it. It cuts through the barbed wire, opens the thing up, and then Wolverine's like, I'm not coming out. And it's a stupid idea to come out.
He's like, it's safer down
What
here,
did he say?
bub.
He's like, those are
You can't-
B-52s
yeah,
or
you
whatever.
can't
Like,
outrun
you can't
it.
outrun what's
You can't
coming,
outrun what's
pal.
coming.
This whole thing I thought was super weird that Logan just refuses to even try to communicate with anybody at all. Like, he's just speaking like straight, complicated ass English sentences, expecting these people that clearly don't understand what you're saying.
She understood.
No, he didn't, dude. I thought that like, it
yeah,
was
he
such a
did.
weird.
He comes on
script
as a
thing.
conversation.
And later when they're in the tunnel, he's like,
Speak
pain?
English.
And he's like, no pain.
But I just think that's I'm talking about like yes he understood because the writer said he understood.
Yeah.
That was bullshit. Like there was so many times in this movie where especially later with Marco and Yukio when they're talking to him and he's just like throwing this complicated ass shit and I'm like this is really just poor writing I thought.
But
Interesting.
doesn't Mariko and Yukio both speak English?
Yeah.
They both speak
They're
English
fluent in English.
maybe not them. The other people.
There was a point where he was talking to the dad, but the dad definitely also speaks English.
I don't know. Multiple times the other thing, I'm like, this is fucking
those
awkward.
old ladies that were watching him.
Yeah, but they didn't even really
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
they
they
were
didn't care,
speaking
yeah.
broken English
Yeah.
of like, wash clean, like get down, like whatever. That's a great scene.
I like
Great
this scene. I like the scene because he lets
Seems
him out,
great.
but he knows everyone's gonna die, and so he walks over and he sees the other guys committing suicide, and he goes to join
Well,
them.
they yell at him to come over and
Yeah.
join him.
And
yeah,
he's like, all right, I'll come
That
kill him. And
sucks.
the actor, the younger actor that played the younger Rashida, I thought he did a really great job.
Nailed
where he's
it.
like, I got nothing. This is like. Now, my only question is, how did they know what was coming? How did Wolverine know what was coming? It's not like we've dropped a lot of atomic
Didn't
bombs.
we
in
warn
history.
them? We warned them several.
Did we?
We
Oh
warned
yeah,
them
we
a week
warned
before.
Japan
Yeah,
big
had
time.
we-
Had we
pamphlets.
watched?
If you don't surrender,
No,
we're going
we
to.
were like, hey, we're gonna
Had
hit
we
you with a
already
nuclear bomb.
dropped
Yeah.
Hiroshima at this point? Or was
Yeah, I
Nagasaki
believe
first?
Hiroshima was first.
Hiroshima was
Okay,
first,
so it's,
yeah.
it's
No, he
possible
also
that he
threw
knew.
Wolverine. He smelled it.
Did he?
He smelled
Atomic bomb.
Yeah.
I'm an atomic
B-52.
man.
Exactly, it's one of his mutants,
Yeah.
but abilities. Yeah, yeah. But
Well,
also, I guess you would just know a
side.
payload is coming from those kind of planes. Maybe?
Yeah, but a
Outside
payload,
of
like
it.
we didn't. Yeah, I don't
But
know.
even general, maybe if it wasn't even a nuke, are you gonna be able to outrun it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
It was like 3 miles
Yeah,
away.
you should be fine.
Yeah, I liked it. Wolverine obviously climbs out of the hole, grabs Yoshida, throws him
Stops
back
him,
down
throws
there
him
before
back
again.
in.
He's like, because you saved me, I'll save you, kinda. Gets him down there. The bombs hit. Fucking explosions. They're running while it's coming. I was like, I don't know if that would work, but whatever. They get down there, throws the metal door
metal
over
door
his
over
face.
him.
Yeah, he gets
That
burned on the fucking
scene-
face.
That's a
His face.
great scene.
It was horrifying because you're like,
Horrifying.
what the fuck? I'm like, your expectation is okay. It's gonna be like a normal movie. You cut back to maybe he's got some burn, like to pull in like Man of Steel, right? Where he walks through, opens the
Sure.
door in the tanker scene, and he's got some fire on him. But that's pretty much it. Cut back to. It's horrifying.
It's
It's
exactly
shit's from
what
like
it
Nightmare on
should
Elm
be.
Street.
He looked like
right?
a fucking meatball. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my
Yeah, he
god.
did. Meat wall.
But
His head was so round. That's very good.
now I don't recall because there were so many amazing scenes.
There
in
were a
this
lot
movie.
of good ones.
But I think this was the first time we saw Hugh Jackman shirtless.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Andy, can I rank those abs?
Okay, sorry. I was about to go into wigging out. Were they born in labs? Now it's time to rank those abs.
Number one with a fucking bullet. He is in this entire movie. And I'll tell you why, Tim. You're looking at me like, what? Is it better than Chris Hemsworth in any of the Thor movies? Yes, here's why. Chris Hemsworth, every Thor movie, one scene. Hugh Jackman, 40% of this movie is shirtless.
Yeah.
And so, shredded's not even the right word. Vascular is the right word.
Oh yeah.
Is it healthy?
No.
Okay, so
because you
the
have
veins,
to
right?
severely dehydrate yourself
Right,
to be able
right,
to do
So
this.
Hugh Jackman went on record saying that during the Wolverine was the best shape he's ever been in his life.
He
and
looks
that
great
was
in
like,
this
this
movie.
is the goal for what I wanted Wolverine to be.
His body in this movie was insane.
I got something for you, Nick. You're
Give
right.
it to me.
Hugh Jackman said that for his shirtless scenes in this film, he wanted to look, quote, as ripped and cut as possible. So he adopted a dehydration diet used in bodybuilding where he did not consume any liquid for 36 hours before filming his shirtless
so
shots.
dangerous.
He said it made him feel, quote, headachy
Yeah, no shit.
and faint, but he was pleased with the results as dehydrating tightened everything up and gave him the exaggerated muscle definition and vascularity that he wanted to
Vascularity.
show in his shirtless
TM.
scenes. To prepare for the role, Hugh Jackman contacted
Lou Ferrigno.
Dwayne Johnson for advice on bulking up for the
Shit.
movie.
Naturally.
Johnson suggested Jackman could gain a pound a week over 6 months, 24 weeks, by eating 6,000 calories a day of, quote, an awful lot of chicken, steak, and brown rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, I would love to have heard that conversation.
It's one of those things where you see these guys and it's really hard to get into the shape to begin with, right? You see Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy and he has the one shirtless scene.
Gratification.
You build up to that. You plan for when that scene's going to be and you can dehydrate your body and bulk up and you get that nice definition. That there's a reason why you see them one shirtless scene and then for the rest of the movie they've got something over him. It's because it's really hard to maintain that. He must have been on the fucking border of death for like 13 weeks at least because he's shirtless the entire time.
Yeah.
And even when he's not, his arms are fucking
Even when he's not, he's a wife
shredded.
beater.
Jesus
It just looks like he
Christ.
was doing push-ups
All the time.
Like if he was
During
filming for 8 hours in a 24-hour day, he was doing push-ups for 7 hours. The
30
rest
minutes
of it,
of those, yeah.
Like it's unbelievable how he's always fucking just shredded.
I
Man.
can't wait to see because he has that amazing scene also in Days of Future Past where he wakes up in the 70s and he looks
Oh,
down.
yeah.
He's like naked. But dude, that scene and the scene where he's getting scrubbed down, he's big.
Oh, yeah.
He's fucking
scene
big
was
in this
awesome.
movie, dude. Kudos to Hugh Jackman, man. God. I can't even imagine.
Number 1 on the list.
Number 1 on the list of the
Holy
bullshit.
Wow.
So he
far.
saves Yoshida. Yoshida's face gets burned. He's a giant meatball. He gets burned. He says the Japanese word for monster. He's a monster. I forgot what it was. Katsu. Anyways, you're a monster.
Katsu, yeah. No, it's Katsu. He nailed it.
Katsu. Nailed it.
Tonkatsu. Yeah.
Tonkatsu. And then we're going to jump ahead. Guess what? We're up in the Pacific Northwest, the Yukon, I believe, somewhere there. Canada-ish. Who the hell knows? We're in the woods, everybody. We're up in the woods. We're up there. We're living in a cave. We're living like a fucking homeless caveman up there. You know what I mean?
Like a Wolverine.
Just
Long
chilling.
ass hair.
Really long hair. Is it a wig? I don't know.
Wigging out with Scarpino.
It's a wig, but it's acceptable.
Okay. Why?
It's an acceptable wig.
It was a good wig.
Because he had to have long hair. It's hard to grow out.
Oh my
that.
God,
You
it's
can't grow that
happening,
hair out.
dude. They got him.
They fucking got you, dude.
Did they get
You
me?
little
I
flip
think they got you.
They
asshole.
fucking got no.
They
The wig
got
was
you,
the
dude.
wig was. You have to have a wig.
You have
and
to
the hair's
have
gotta
it, yeah.
long. It's what
If it's
I liked
unattainable, you have to have
What
a
I
wig.
liked about his
It's
style in
like
this
a
though
year
is that they
growth,
went
it's fine.
with just the let's cut his hair so it's a little bit
Just a
wispy.
tiny
That's
bit.
it.
Yeah.
How they didn't think to do that
I missed the
in the
bouffant.
late 90s
I missed the bouffant.
is
I missed the
obscene
bouffant.
to me. How Bryan Singer wasn't like 1930s bouffant or just cut his fucking hair to make it look normal and a little bit wispy. Let's go with a bouffant.
He's adding letters to
Yeah,
Buffon.
Nick
said, man. It
I
was
think
sick.
he's added
It's
a
what I
D
needed
and
at
a
the
T
time.
at the end
I'm
there.
just saying they must have wasted. No wonder X-Men, the original X-Men in the trilogy, cost so much. Half that budget must have gone toward hairspray, just to keep that fucking hair 8 feet above his head.
The original X-Men in the trilogy,
All of them were terrible.
there was 75 million.
Don't
Half the budget of any movie that we've ever talked about.
terrible.
So we're living in a cave and we're having a dream of Jean Grey, possibly a psychic echo, who knows? But she's there talking in a white room. I love you, come to me, we're all
hot.
love. Yeah, you killed me. Oh, I didn't mean to kill you, Jean. Oh, and he wakes up and he's caveman Wolverine living up in a cave, but he's got a little radio and he's happy about that. But guess what? Batteries are dead. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna come out of our cave filled with liquor bottles and batteries.
One of
and
those
we're-
liquor bottles is called Stanley's Whiskey.
Ah.
They couldn't get Stanley for the movie, so they were like, fuck it, we'll call a whiskey Stanley's.
That's cute.
Stanley's Whiskey.
Gotcha. He starts to journey down the giant mountain into town, and while he's coming down, big old bear's there. And this bear's talking to Wolverine, roaring at him, and he's just looking at him, being Wolverine. I'm like, all right, clearly this bear's going to be important. Can't wait to see what happens to this guy.
Bear
Can't wait to see how this pays off in 2 hours. Oh, I won't have to wait that long. We get to the fucking store. There's a bunch of hillbillies there. They're buying shit. They got guns. They got arrows. They almost shoot one of their feet off. They're going to go on a big old hunt. And the lady's like, are you a hunter? He's like, not anymore. It's Wolverine, not anymore. He
I
gets
do that. I made someone a promise. I'm
got
not
his
killing anyone
fucking
anymore.
D batteries
Threw
though.
that away real quick.
Goes
super
straight
fast.
up back up the fucking mountain. Yeah, he doesn't kill anybody now. He's trying to be better since he killed Jean Grey. He's got his batteries. He's happy. He's gonna lay around. Oh, what's that? It's a gunshot and screaming and shit. And he comes down and the camp's all ruined. He's like, what the fuck happened to this camp? That doesn't make any sense. And then he's like, oh, and then he finds the bear, and the bear's just sitting there like, bro, I got a fucking arrow in my back. I can't move. We're pals, right?
I
We pe-
peed earlier.
We peed next to each
that was
other,
weird.
right?
Do you think,
That
let me
was
ask you a
weird.
question.
It
Do you
was
think
marking the
bear
territory, you know?
Was like, hey man, we're buddies. Help me out here.
Yeah.
Or stab me in the neck and end my life.
I think that's what he wanted. Like,
Yeah.
he was what that bear wanted. He was poisoned. We find out later.
yeah.
The
There-
arrow
there
Definitely,
was
he
that
was like,
good
hey man, kill me, but then kill them.
yeah, definitely kill them.
Exactly.
Definitely
yeah,
kill
and
them.
don't. And the Wolverine's like, don't make me do this. And like, you gotta do it. Ah, fuck.
And then the bear, like,
Does
cries,
it.
right?
No, well, it's
sad.
it's painful. It's
I
painful.
didn't mean that.
And I feel like all we needed was when Wolverine was walking out of his cave and the bear was walking out of his cave, a morning stand, and kept walking. Then I would have been like, oh, they have like a pre-existing
Got a
relationship.
thing. Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course.
questioning.
I feel like that would have
where
made it
these
too
bears-
emotional for me.
Yeah,
Like, that would have
would've
hurt
been
me.
the line. Yeah.
You know, I don't think I could have
I
handled
think the only
that.
thing that
What
would've
if? What
worse-
about this though? What about this? When he stabs
sleep
it
in
and the
the
bear was
same
like, oh, what if he just went, Logan? And then he's like, Professor X.
I missed the mark, Logan. It's bad.
Anyways, guess what? This bear is dead. Oh my god. I can't believe he got shot with his arrow and is dead. Clearly, there was trouble at the camp. Let's go to the local watering hole, where apparently, yeah, there was trouble with this camp. And what it was isn't what you think. These guys didn't just shoot this bear and it died. No, this bear got shot by one of them, attacked the camp and killed everybody. And the one surviving hunter just went down the hill and went to the bar.
No authorities, no ambulance, nothing. Just
I guess
like,
he doesn't want to be caught with it because
You don't think that was handled already?
What? No, I do not.
I think that was
Like, think
immediate.
of there's the way it all happened. Like,
Wait, he was talking to all these people.
Logan wakes up to the screams of the campers, goes out, finds the bear still alive, kills the bear, comes down. Dude's at the bar.
But
Like,
here-
"Well, I'm the only
here's
guy
the
who
thing.
survived.
What if it wasn't at the bottom? What if it was a 50-minute walk, a 10-minute drive for the dude? You know, so the
Yeah, but
guy
he heard
goes.
the-
A 10-minute drive up the
dirty-
mountain? No way.
You think they wrapped up
Logan
the-
is wet and dirty in this movie 90% of the time.
hot.
Yeah.
I would have hated being him fucking filming this. He just looked uncomfortable.
I would have just looked at the check and been
Look
like, I'm
good,
fine with
though.
all
Yeah,
of this.
I'm
Feed
okay.
me
I'm
more
okay.
of the
Warm me
fucking
up.
chicken and brown rice. Anyways, he walks in there and he's like, he walks in the guy, oh, you're the only hunter who survives? Like, yeah. He's like, I'd like to buy this guy a drink, get something. Drink. And he stabs him in the hand with the arrow. You know, guess where I got, and it's a great scene. Guess where I got this arrow? I pulled it out of this guy's back. You know, my friend fucking staying up there with the bear had the poison in it, drove him mad. That's why he attacked the camp. He starts pouring it on his hands.
And you hear from the mountain, Logan.
Professor X.
I didn't kill him. I thought I killed him.
We gotta go back. Hey, buddy.
Still alive.
I'm actually gonna need your hunting skills.
Stan the bear stumbles in, like bleeding. Just help me. Someone help me. I'm a bear. And so he's like, "Oh, you got nothing to worry about. If it isn't poison, well, it is poison, of course." And then like the guy comes over, they're gonna attack Logan. He's like, "Nah, you're not on my watch, bub." And he does the claws.
And then he says, "Sorry, Gene." Remember?
Yeah, we're not there yet, but he cuts the button. No, you're right. You were right. He brings out, he's like, sorry, Gene, like he's going to fucking kill everybody because he made this promise that we're all aware of because of the dream sequence.
Because they killed the bear.
But then,
By the
gave
way,
that up so
I'm just
quick.
throwing it out there. This is the sad part about this. The bear got his retribution. They shot the
Killed
bear.
three
The bear
out of, like,
killed
4.
3 of them. It's
Yeah.
3-1 right now. Just throwing it out there. Wolverine.
Check the fucking
This is
scoreboard.
none of his business at all.
Yeah.
This is a hunting town. They may.
you
for all he
can't
knows-
poison, though. You can't
for all
drive the
he
bears
knows,
crazy.
He does get way too
I don't know that
involved.
you
He
can
gets
hunt
very
grizzly
involved.
bears in most places.
You
Well,
can.
you definitely can't
feel like that
poison
might
them and
be-
make them
you
go
can hunt
You
crazy.
can actually get paid to hunt grizzly bears depending on
Really?
the population.
You can
think
get
it's
paid to
population
ride them if you go to the right
The
places.
grizzly bears apparently will.
Where?
Tijuana.
Not Berry Farm.
Anyways, sorry, Gene. Sneak, and he's gonna do it, but no. Yukiko grabs his hand. And she's like, "No, don't fucking kill these guys. I got a sword." And she cuts a bottle. She cuts a chair. Everybody's like, "Whoa, we're not gonna fuck with this chick." She says some shit too, I'm sure. And, look at this. And the chair collapses, and then the
chair
bottle
takes a
collapses.
second,
The bottle takes
then it
way
collapses.
longer to collapse.
Yeah, and I'm like, do we need weird comedic timing with this? I don't think so.
No, I understood it.
Yeah.
It's a sharp sword that steals souls or
It
whatever
was
she was
cool,
saying.
though.
I don't know.
I like her though, and I like this character.
steal
I think she
souls?
did a great job as the character.
I hated
Personally
her.
Speaking, really,
I thought
she was great.
she was totally unnecessary. I thought she was good
100%
for like.
unnecessary, but I just liked her.
I warm up to her by the end of it, but I thought it was just awkward pacing
Why did
in the
she
beginning
leave
and
with
how
him?
long
I
it
don't
goes.
understand that. Isn't she still like the girl's like best friend?
true.
They're sisters,
Like-
but
Oh, you're talking about the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Mariko's clearly like, listen,
I got this.
You're my
I
sister.
got
You're the
this.
only family I've got.
Why did he
but you
leave?
have no marketable skills. in
Why
the
did
business
Wolverine
world.
leave?
What? Yeah, because he
This ain't his life. Yeah,
he found Mariko and like
No,
they had
because he had
something
to go back-
special
he had
going
to go
on.
back to-
do what?
He was a soldier and he'd been away from the fight too
they
long.
got it. What fight? They got in the plane. And he's
Mutant
like,
rights.
Where are we going next? He was like, oh, I have no idea. Who's making that shit up?
fuck,
I
Here's
just
the
need
thing:
to
is
get out.
and this is what I was driving at earlier when Tim cut me off a long time ago. That's okay. You have a show to run.
All right, we got to
Yeah,
play.
You have a show
We
to
gotta
run.
play now.
I didn't take the Mariko Logan hookup to be them really in love with each other, as evidenced
Heat of
by
the
the
moment.
end of it. Yeah, by the end of it, when she's like, again, who's Jean? And she's not like mad about it. She's talking to him about it. They just got it on. That's why I was fine with it up until they're at the plane. And she's like, I guess I can't convince you to stay. I'm like,
Smashing
I don't
and
really,
dashing, man.
I don't really know
I
if
think
you guys
she
were
was
in
kinda
the
fine.
same
I think it was
thing.
one of those situations where she's like, I guess I can't convince you to stay, but neither of them were like that
Yeah,
into it.
like,
Like,
Okay.
She's probably like, yeah, I
convince
gotta go. She's like, oh, cool.
It's
All
the
right.
smash, dash, and slash.
You know what it is,
Damn,
Craig?
dude.
Yeah.
To put it in context of Keanu Reeves movies.
Sure.
It's like in Speed where she goes, hey, relationships that start in high stress situations don't
He says
usually
that.
work out. Yeah, he says that.
she's like, I guess we'll have to base it on sex.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, boing.
Yeah, it's like in the chase with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, that's another
Oh
one.
yeah, that was a great
Yeah,
movie.
great
With
movie.
Kristen
Remember?
Swanson has
They
sex in
literally
the car.
have sex while they drive in a
Yeah,
high speed
it's
chase.
sexy. They're being-
Now, speaking of all this, have you watched this Keanu Reeves movie where the two girls show up on his doorstep and it's raining and they're hot and they're all like
talked about
wet
this one.
and then they come in and it's like get sexy, but then like they're bad guys and like they try to tie them up. I don't.
Nick was
What?
telling
I
me
see the
Jody about
Amazon
this movie.
trailer
Let's
all the
put it
time and
this
I think
way.
about watching it.
I've seen certain scenes from that movie.
Yeah. I don't know.
Are those scenes worth Googling?
Oh,
All right.
I'll need- I'll need- I'll need-
the Armas,
I'll
the
need
girl
some-
from Blade Runner 2049.
I'll need some backup on that. I'll
Oh,
need
I
some links.
remember that.
I'll need
It's a
some
hot,
links.
it's a hot scene.
I'll need some links for
Keanu
that.
Reeves is beautiful.
So, okay, Yukiko's there. Now the cops are coming. She's like, listen, get in my
tell
car.
if
We got to
it's a
fucking
joke or
go.
you just
We're
like,
going to
kick 'em
go
out
on this
there.
whole thing. We're getting in the car. We're going. The sword in the back belongs to my employer. You saved his life. His name, Yashida-san. He needs to talk to you. He's dying. He wants to say his goodbyes or whatever. We're going to Japan. Logan's like, no. She's like, just come to fucking Japan. What else you got? You live in a cave.
She's like, just be cool. He's
Tim,
like,
what do you
"All right."
got?
I got some sword facts for you.
Thank
here,
you,
Greg.
finally.
There's a moment in 2013's
Like
much
Carfax?
improved Wolverine Wolverine solo film called The Wolverine, where Logan's ally, young Yoshida, gives him a samurai sword with 6 kanji letters engraved on it. Those letters translate to never died, never aged, never destroyed. Which is pretty much Wolverine.
And as you point out there, we jump back to the hole a lot. At one point, when they can't leave because of obviously radiation and all that crap. So he's like, they hang out down there for a while and just talking, chatting it up about everything.
What do you suppose the theory behind that was?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we're good now.
With all due respect, Andy hit it. Science with Kev.
Science.
Damn it.
Science with Kev.
Kevin, can I ask you a
Now I
question
meant
about
to
science?
prepare for
These
this.
are nuclear weapons, right?
Yeah,
There's fallout, radiation, and shit.
I believe. Remembering from Blast from the Past,
Thank you.
28 years.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You gotta wait.
I was gonna say Nagasaki
Maybe
probably
25
was not
years.
habitable for a
For
very,
a
very
while,
long time.
yeah.
And anyone that was in that blast radius probably
imagine-
years later died of radiation poisoning.
Sure,
Which
sure.
I'm assuming he was
Remember
dying of.
Chernobyl?
But
Yeah, that's my thing. Chernobyl,
lasted
you
for a
still can't
while.
go hang out in.
Yeah.
bigger
3
blast.
Mile
That was a
Island, you
different,
can't
that was a
hang out.
different kind of
Probably
thing.
during
But I
the
gotta
explosion.
assume atomic bomb. I don't know much about radiation. I'm
It's
gonna
not
change
good
that
for you.
by next time. Don't worry.
It's not good for you.
No, real
I do
bad.
know this. If you were within,
Yeah.
let's say, what was it, across the bay, maybe 3 miles, 4 miles max away from a nuclear blast going off, and you were just kicking it there all day in a well, you would probably die of radiation.
The
poisoning.
Unabomber.
You would be very, very sick if nothing
Elaborate?
Nobody lives in Oklahoma, man.
else. Oklahoma
No, he
City.
didn't. It wasn't a
didn't
nuke,
do
and
nuclear-
that was
Exactly.
Timothy McVeigh. That was a very
a-
different homegrown terrorist.
Very
Shoe bomb.
different.
It wasn't he a shoe
No,
bomb?
that was a different guy after
No,
9/11.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why we can't
Who was
even
the
take our
guy
shoes
that
off.
fucked us over with the TSA?
Well, that's a whole bunch of people. I mean,
Yeah.
it was Al Qaeda.
They didn't get
Osama.
caught either.
I mean, they did.
Well, yeah,
son
those
of a
guys
bitch.
too. No,
That's what really kicked
I
off
was talking about the
TSA.
shoe guy.
Science with Kev.
So, all right, fine. I'll come for one day because he's a moron, has no idea how fucking far it is to Japan. I'll come for one day. They get to the thing. It's going to be a
He's really
15-hour
dumb.
plane ride. He's like, "Duh." She's like, what? You don't like planes? He's like, oh, fucking fine with him. And he gets up there and he's a white knuckling on the thing, even though he's fucking invulnerable. I'll tell you what. I figure out that I'm fucking immortal. I can heal from anything. One of the first fucking things I'm doing after I'm like tired of all this,
just crashing a plane?
hey, Craigslist ad. Who wants to die? Who wants to commit suicide? All right, I'm gonna go up there in a plane and I'm just gonna fucking knife the wall and get sucked out and see what that's like. You can all just crash and
See
die.
what
All right,
that's like.
I mean, it's painful.
Why don't you
It's
just do
really-
it by yourself?
Yeah.
I can't fucking
you
fly a
can't,
plane up
yeah.
there.
Yeah, you can't. You have
How am
to
I gonna
learn
get
to
the
fly.
plane? Come on, Tim, think.
Greg's not gonna try.
And I don't want one of these fucking
thinking?
propeller planes. I don't want like one of those.
No, he wants a big.
Like a real.
I want to
old
be in a
plane.
fucking jet and be
Seven-
like, yeah, boom, gee. Like what happens when you throw the fucking thing?
But you
and
don't
get
want a
sucked out?
747 or
Don't
something?
act like you guys don't think about it and touch it and get really close every time.
every
You're in
time.
line for the bathroom and you just grab
Every
that hand and
time.
like, here we could go.
Every
Here,
time.
Is it,
They're like,
is it go
"Excuse me,
time?
sir, you
And I'm
can't touch that."
I'm just steadying myself, ma'am. Don't worry. You gave me the chocolate. I fly a lot. And then
I think about it. I'm with
been
you,
put on
man.
the list.
I'm with you.
anyways, though, yeah, he's on a plane. He's scared.
But they build that up in the other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
no,
the
no,
ones
I
It's
know,
like
I
the
know, I
Ed
know.
Broncos from the A-Team, right? Where
Yeah,
the
it's
toughest
a
guy
cute
is
little
scared to
thing. It's a
fly.
cute little thing. It's fine.
And he's been in a plane that's been hit by a rocket. You know?
He jumped out of a plane in the last movie and skidded off the fucking water like it was concrete.
True.
Awesome.
That was a
Anyways,
helicopter,
Yukio,
though.
she's not
Right?
scared about
No,
it. She
it was
just
a-
fucking
it was
sits
a
there and
Cessna.
she takes it, and it's
What's her
fine.
name?
Anyway, Yukio?
Okay, cool.
Yukio. Hi, Yukio.
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 Anyways, they land. Great. We made it to Japan.
good
We get an
scene.
awesome scene of them in the car, and like Logan's a man out of time in his caveman outfit, and she's like, "Don't let the lights distract you. It's a dark time for Tokyo." I'm like, that's a fucking
That's a
dope
good
line.
line.
That's a fucking
Seeing
dope line.
Yoshida everywhere. Like,
Yoshida's everywhere. It turns out this guy who was a fucking soldier who got the radiation poisoning in his
Jeff
car.
Bezos.
He's fucking Jeff Bezos. They took over, man. He's gonna take over everything, and it's gonna be great. Great. We get there and there's all these guards. Wolverine's like, what the fuck's up with the guards? And he's like, well, you know, it's the most powerful dude in Japan.
Why do they have guns?
Yakuza and shit, all this stuff. We've had a lot
Yakuza,
of,
man.
We've had assassination attempts. We've had not Japan not known for their guns, even with their gangsters. So it's interesting.
Really?
There's so many guns. Yeah.
I feel like the Uzis, like we always see them with the Yakuza, no?
The koozies.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, well, so we're going off of
Yakuzis.
movies and games, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
Right.
isn't that what always known? Right?
I was
Yakuzis,
known
I
because
just
they all
picture
wear
them-
black suits.
Holding glasses with beer in them.
Anyways, we got there. Oh, this shit's happening. That's cool, whatever. And he walks in there, and then, Mariko's there, and she's all like, well, I'm speaking Japanese. And they're like, okay. And then we got a quick introduction. And there's her dad, and then there's Mariko, and then they all speak Japanese. That's cool, because we're in Japan.
Right.
And then we're talking around, like, Mariko gets in a fight or something. There's a whole bunch of family dynamics here. Her dad's obviously an asshole, obviously.
He slaps her.
He wants to, is that where he slaps her?
Yeah.
He wants to inherit the company.
The
He
first
thinks
time.
he's going to get it, you know know what I mean? Spoilers, you're not. You know what I mean? Because we think your dad's a good guy, and it turns out he's not a good guy. But we'll get to all that in a little
He
bit.
didn't slap her yet. This is where he sees the dad doing the fucking moves with the sword. They're doing
Right.
the sword fighting.
So then,
Was that the
yeah,
dad
America
that had a
walks
spirit?
over and she's like, yeah, no, you can't introduce him like this. He looks like he looks like Will Forte from that other caveman thing.
He's doing the fourth thing.
Great. Get him cleaned up. They toss him in the thing. They all start scrubbing him and touching his dick and shit. And there's all these old people there. And he's like, I feel violated. Funny scene. I like
funny.
it. Very funny scene.
Very a lot of action going on during
Yeah.
that scene. Those women are beating the shit out of him.
Yeah,
I
as he
just
deserves.
would have been loved to be a fly on the wall in that scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just rock
You would have
hard.
liked to have been
Just-
the fucking brush, I'm sure.
Slow jerking it.
When Yukio pulled the knife on him, made no sense to me.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Like
okay.
she's smart enough to know that won't end well for
It's-
her.
No.
Well, that's why he goes, really? Like,
Yeah.
he knows
Fuck
it too.
this.
Like, we know it too.
But
It's
like,
honest, man.
it seems dumb to even try. Because like,
Hey, she's showing she doesn't take no shit. I can see the death of people. We didn't talk about it. She's just, I'm a fucking hard ass bitch, and if you want to fuck with me, I will stab you this. Because apparently,
I know
why
when
don't
I'm
we
gonna
jump out
die.
of plane? It hurts.
I know when I'm gonna die.
She, you know what I mean?
And I know
Exactly.
when you were gonna die, motherfucker. And she knew if she pulled that knife out that he was
he'd be
probably
fine.
not gonna die.
He'd be fine. Yeah.
So guess what? He's clean cut Logan. Let's go meet Yoshida. We walk in there. He's got this dope ass, like, you know that thing.
Table.
You know when you go to like the Museum of Science and Industry
You put your
and you
hand in
put
it?
your face
Yeah.
or your hand in.
And
He's
then
got
you
one of
think,
those
how many
beds.
people have put their face in this?
You try not to think about
Why
that.
would I-
You try not to
why
think
would I
about
do
that.
this? Why would I
He's
put my
got
bed
one
in
of
it?
those beds with all the little metal pegs pushing him up, and then also this
So
just
uncomfortable.
out of
No, but like
nowhere.
you put your hand in it.
This out of nowhere
super.
supermodel doctor that like
Yeah.
she's got glasses on, so she must be a nerd. Okay.
You're like, all right, she's bad.
Yeah, of course,
Like
yeah.
the most telegraphed thing
Yeah.
ever. Fuck
Yeah,
this woman. I
Totally
hate
out
her.
of place.
So
totally bad.
telegraphed that when everybody walks out, he's like, "That's your nurse." Nice.
Nice. I know.
Yoshida's like, yeah, hey man, thanks for saving my life back in the day. If you can't see, I'm about to die. I know you want to die. I can see it in your fucking puppy dog eyes. You're all hung up on this other one-eyed dude's girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like they had a relationship, but you still think you had a chance to fuck her. This story's still so disturbing at its core, but whatever. You want to die too, don't you? Just you can give me. We figured out a way. Transfer your healing factor to me, bruh, and you can live as long a life as you want. Which knowing you will not be that long, I have a feeling it would be very hard for you to get back
Nick
into the country
Scarpino
and
has a
passports.
question.
Did they ever explain how the transfer process was going to work?
Yeah,
in
it was
this?
at the end.
Yeah,
When
you're
they
gonna
cut his
drill
claws
things
off,
into his bones.
You need to get his DNA, I assume.
He couldn't just do that from any of the blood that he shed the entire time that he was.
Maybe they were
getting stabbed.
You
stealing
needed
and
bone
shot.
marrow.
bone marrow,
And you needed all of it, my guess.
It was
Okay.
dumb.
Okay.
Very, very.
Just
dumb.
making sure I didn't miss something.
Viper's got it covered. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they never do explain.
I thought
it, so
Viper's
no.
power was going to be that.
I thought so,
Turns
too.
out, no,
No.
she just
No.
has poison.
Yeah.
That really
Logan's
didn't-
like,
was
listen
useless.
here, you old Japanese bastard. Take a long walk off a short pier.
short pier.
Enjoy these fucking things going up your ass, I'm sure, too, because it's supportive when they're all laid out, but I'm sure a few are getting offs put in
They're
the crack,
making it
you
in
know?
there. Let's put it that way. He doesn't have the sort of like glute ability to keep him out.
Exactly.
You know? He doesn't have that kind of muscle power anymore.
Oh my
So one or
God.
two are making its way through the tunnel, if you know what I mean.
The
Too
doctor's like, oh,
far.
it's okay, don't worry. It happens a lot where, you know, you can't control your erection. He's like, that's not my penis.
not my
That's one of the
penis.
pills. The
That's the pills pushing into
coming
my
all the way
prostate.
through. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus God. Anyways, and he's like, yeah, and Yukiko's like, and they're like, oh, okay. And everybody's like, yeah. And then she's like, all right, well, you go to bed and like fucking I'll have a plane ready in the morning. He's like, fucking thank you. You know what I mean? Peace out. And he sits
Later,
down and he
dog.
starts having a dream about Jean Grey again. Maybe a Psycho Echo. Nobody knows. You know what I mean?
But he drinks the tea first.
It was there. Did he drink it?
He drinks it.
I can't remember if he actually
I
drank it. It
don't
was
know the
there
tea
with the
did
green
it.
I don't know
shit.
that we ever saw him drink.
I don't think we saw him drink because I was waiting
I'm
for
pretty
Isn't
it.
sure
this
he took a
also-
drink because I think that was what they were alluding to was like that's maybe how it got inside
no,
Well, I
of him.
thought it was
Doesn't
just the pheromones or whatever
No,
coming out of the tea.
What was the point of the pheromones?
I
fuck
think that
cares?
this is the
Doesn't
moment where he
matter.
has the dream where the doctor's making out with him
Yes.
after this.
He
So
has
I-
the Jean
yeah.
Grey thing where Jean Grey starts kissing him, and then it turns into Viper.
Yeah.
And she does the green jizz down his throat.
Yeah.
And then he
God,
wakes
it
up
was
and
so
does the
nasty.
claw thing, and there is no Viper there. But apparently, yeah, he still got drugged and whatever.
And then right when that was happening, is
And
when
so
all
right
the
now-
chaos outside's going
Real quick,
on.
I'm sure we've all been enjoying this movie. I'm sure we all enjoy this movie. But right now, if you ever gave anybody shit in Batman v Superman for was the Flash thing a dream or wasn't a dream, there you go, motherfuckers. Here it is. Another scene
What,
right here.
another bad moment where like
Just letting you know. Looks around. Guess what? Everybody's fucking crying already. Sheeta's dead. They're wheeling his fucking corpse out. All right, great. And so yeah, like Yukiko runs over. She's like, "Oh man, he's dead. Oh no!" And then maybe that's when the slap happens. Who the fuck knows? It's raining all the time in this place.
all the time. But when did
Mariko tries to kill
Mariko
herself
tried to
at
kill
one
herself.
point, right?
That was
That's-
way. That's here.
that's now.
It's
I'm
after
pretty
she
sure it
gets
was
slapped.
earlier
No, it's
than
after she
this.
gets slapped. You're right. It's after she gets slapped. And like the slap was when right before
Once Logan left
the grandfather told the dad that he wasn't
it.
gonna get the company.
Right, that happened too, and that guy, that smart little asshole, gets what he's gonna get coming. You know what I mean?
And then she like runs off.
Yeah, America's
tries to
gonna
He's
jump.
like, oh,
Logan
it's slippery.
stops it. Oh, it's slippery. Great,
You
congratulations.
done?
She's dead.
Bub.
He's dead. Everybody's dead.
She's not.
I think just
Movie's
the
over.
grandpa.
Grandpa's dead, or so we want to think. Wink.
Yeah, wink.
They roll his corpse out.
Wank.
Yukio's crying about this shit, and again, cool. Sucks for your loss, everybody. I just need to be on a plane. I don't need to be a part of your
I don't
family
care.
drama.
This
Oh
is
no, you
stupid.
have black suits for me. Great. I'm going to the fucking funeral now. That's great.
Yeah,
this is
why?
how I wanted to spend my
Why?
weekend. I gotta mourn.
dead.
I have to mourn for Stan. All right. I can't. There's a death and a burial I need to do.
Do you understand?
I'm still not dead. You just paralyzed me. My body is living off the fat I stored for the winter. This is a living hell.
It turns out I have at least 2 months, but come back, Logan.
So we go to the funeral. They put this on real quick. You know what I mean? Like they were just ready for Yoshida to kick the fucking bucket.
Oh, yeah, they had
Introduced
it all
to the
prepared.
rest of the cast of characters
Sure.
that we're about to see.
Hawkeye. You got Hawkeye.
There's
Harada.
Japanese Hawkeye.
Japanese Hawkeye.
And then there's the Japanese head of police or whatever that's obviously
Ministry
a
of
bad
whatever.
guy. Now let's stop for a fucking second because this
I'm
is
glad
where
you
things
noticed.
get really interesting.
noticed this,
You
my
look at
friend.
this man, you're like,
looks
this man
familiar.
has a mustache.
He does.
But why does he look like DK, the Drift King from Fast and Furious Tokyo
Great
Drift?
question, Tim.
Because he is
Great
DK himself with a mustache.
Didn't know that.
Got
This
it.
is the
Now
guy
let me
who's
ask you this.
Mariko's.
The guy who
Control
was
it.
there, we
Yeah.
see him in the underwear and shit.
Yeah.
Hookers.
Gotcha.
Did that
Yo,
make
hooker.
you like or love this movie?
Fucking gave it so much extra
Done.
points, man.
Done.
So many shots of Tokyo. I'm like, this is great.
Wonder
I
where
just
you
want to
got
hear the music, man.
Cinematic
Tell me if
universe.
you know how they do in Tokyo.
That's exactly. Right.
Fantastic. Continue, Greg.
So hey, everybody, we're at a funeral. We're walking in. Logan sees fucking Hawkeye up on the roof. Doesn't talk to anybody about this.
Hey.
That'd be my
Oh,
first
weird
thing.
move,
I'm just
yeah.
like, hey, like you see the fucking ninja on the roof? Is that normal? Is that you guys or not you guys? Because I can run over there and do stuff if I need to, but I prefer just to get on the plane. Again, you could have dropped me off at the airport on the way here. I could have just give me a couple yen. You know what I mean? Like private jet is everyone in the company here. All the pilots are here as well. You know what I mean? Also, I can heal. Just put me in a cannon. Shoot me. Shoot me back. You know what I mean?
One of those big long ones. The big long cannons.
He's got a little evil Knievel. About 30 yards in the ocean.
It's painted brown and yellow like this for you.
Anyways, they go in there. All right, we're going to do this fucking service. Good, this guy's dead or whatever. Everybody's still assholes to each other. The family sucks. The dad sucks there, and he's not in it. You know, and everybody's sad. Logan's the only one paying attention to any of this shit, of course. He's noticing all these like fucking goons that are walking her down there. They've got tattoos. Of course, Yakuza has tattoos.
Which is like one of the stupidest, like, oh, there's a problem here. Dude has a tattoo.
He knew something's
no.
wrong.
I think they were like
They had like full on.
monks.
They were shifty too.
It
They
was
had
clear.
Yakuza tattoos.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So if,
You
if,
played Yakuza
Tim.
games, you
if
know.
Jeff Ramsey was
No.
carrying someone
It's
fucking
different.
down a thing, and Logan's just gonna look at him and be like, fuck that guy. He's
In
trying to kill
Japan
him.
and
Let me stop you
Yakuza,
right
he's
there.
played the
It
Yakuza
means
games on
something.
PS2.
Let me
He
stop you right
knows.
there. If Jeff Ramsey was trying to kidnap a woman, you know that I would help him. I would just be like, let's go.
Jesus.
Let's go.
Nick, he's not even
No, I ain't
here.
like it. What?
He's never gonna watch this content.
Hey, look at back
He
to him.
doesn't like you enough.
That's how loyal I am.
Just like a Yakuza.
Tim,
Logan's
the
like,
Yakuza are
this
famous
isn't
for this.
right. Something's wrong. That was a very something's wrong, like in the Ghostbusters 2 rap, but I'll keep going. They're like, no, dude, it's a fucking funeral. Back off. And like the monks who have it all under control and everything's been going great are like, fuck, it's go time. They start pulling out Uzis and shit. Everybody's like,
Tattoos
oh,
everywhere.
it was fucking right. Good fucking point blank shotguns, Logan. Shit, son.
Yeah.
That was a
Fuck
good
me.
scene. That was
yeah,
a good
right.
scene.
This is when fucking Hawkeye, he jumps off the roof. He's doing shit. He's firing stuff. Yukiko grabs some kind of smoking stick. She's poking people. They're not liking it.
Smoking stick.
It's true.
kill her,
Was it
right?
smoking?
Yeah, it was like, it's
By
like
the father.
incense or something.
Incense, yeah.
To get her.
For
To kill her. But
to
they
kill
could have just
right?
killed her.
The Yakuza were sent by the dad.
The dad,
To
yeah.
kill her.
You find that out
so that he
later.
could take the company over, right?
Well,
Before,
but they're
before the will
kidnapping
was
her,
read
right?
2 days
Well, yeah,
later.
I don't think they're trying to kill her.
No,
Weren't
they
just-
needed a killer before the will was
will?
read on
So that he could just
Wednesday,
inherit the thing.
so that he can inherit it. So she had to
So
be
they
dead.
just ended up taking her
To go kill her
because-
somewhere else?
Yeah.
no,
why'd
at
they
the
take her?
end, it wasn't the Yakuza that took her.
It was the black ninjas or
Yeah.
whatever.
To
right?
protect
Oh,
her?
the Black Order.
Yeah.
Or what do they
Yeah.
call it?
Wait, don't they
The
kidnap?
Foot
That's the very end.
it not
Right
the
now,
Black-
it's the Yakuza who's stealing it.
Yeah, they accuse it. But
It's a little muddled.
why didn't they just shoot her in the head? I don't know.
Yeah. That's,
I don't know. I don't think they were kidnapping.
We're missing
her,
a
though.
major plot point. It's on us.
Doesn't matter.
Anyways,
I don't
Wolverine
think
keeps
so.
getting shot and he's not healing, but they're not focused. He keeps like, ooh, like he's shitting. He's like, ooh, and like the screen's going in and stuff.
like
It's like, oh,
drunk
fuck.
That looks
Goggles.
really painful.
They're very painful,
Yeah.
very painful. But he keeps getting up and he'll start shaking him off and he'll fight a little bit more and do all this different stuff. Interesting, of course, that the bullet wounds don't heal, but like his claw holes heal.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I'm
Doesn't make any
not
sense.
arguing. I don't care. Whatever. It's fun. Cool stuff's happening. There's a bunch of fights here. You care more about action than me. How's this action for you?
A lot better than it was originally. Like when I watched this movie in theaters, I remember like thinking, wow, this is kind of weirdly cut. Where the action seemed like it was secondary to a lot of things. I think it played a lot better in the unleashed version or the unrated version, whatever it is, because it was way more violent. And it should be because it's a guy with claws
Wolverine,
that
yeah.
come out of his hands, putting those
He's
claws through
throwing
people's
people.
heads.
He's stabbing people. It's great.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
Good.
cool.
Kill him.
And then
He's doing great.
Yeah.
He runs after America, right? She's getting driven away in the car or whatever, but he stops the car. Right?
It is weird that he's like,
He gets her out of that jam.
Well, at this point, like the action scene actually, and where the funeral was, I thought was whatever. But once it got out and kind of turned into a chase
Into the
scene,
run,
yeah.
I
it was
did
good.
really like it because
Yeah.
the parkour of Hawkeye with the way that he aimed and like hit him. Like,
Oh, right,
I feel
right,
like
right.
He
Right.
did a better job with him and being Arrow guy than they have with Hawkeye so
Sure.
far in the MCU. Of like,
It was so
you
cool.
having really good aim and arrows makes you interesting.
Hawkeye, yeah. So Hawkeye's taking him out while Wolverine and America run or whatever. It gets down to one dude. They're running through like pachinko parlors and all sorts of stuff in Japan. Japan's so fucking cool.
Tim, in the comics, that is the Silver Samurai, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I love, by the way, I think that one of the coolest parts of this whole movie is when they go into the broom closet and he
Yeah.
realizes there's no way out, and then the guy starts running at him and starts to bust against the door. And he's just, bam! And you
awesome.
see the guy's face like pinned against it, dying. He's like,
awesome.
all right, we gotta go.
If you like any of this action too, play the Yakuza video games. The guy who gets stabbed through the belly is very much a character from the Yakuza game. Every one of the thugs you fight in the street for no reason.
It was weird that it seemed like no one reacted.
Oh, it's
was
Japan.
playing.
They're a polite society. All this shit happens. They run off.
He realized, unlike Wolverine, that it's none of their fucking business.
Some dude got stabbed through a door.
Hey, I want to
3 times.
You've already put all this
They're
money into
just
the
like,
machine.
oh, it's fine.
You put all this money in the machine. You want to let it ride. You know what I mean?
Gotta make this progress.
Eventually, America was like, you know what? Fuck all this. I'm getting on a bullet train. I'm getting out of here. Just stay away, Logan. You go your way. I'll go my way. Kind of shit. Logan doesn't stay away. He gets on the train.
Bullet train goes over 300 miles per hour, and you're like, oh, this is going to come into
gonna be
play
dope.
later. Did not expect it to come into play that quickly,
Dude.
and it was fucking awesome.
I
Yeah,
loved
great
the
scene.
bullet train sequence. It's so good.
It's really cheesy and still like.
But it had a
at the
lot
end
of
of it, I was
fun.
like, that was
is
fucking
fucking
great.
rad.
Yeah.
That was fun. It was fun.
Such
is the
a
way to do
comic
it.
book fight
You got to
scene,
turn off your
especially-
head.
I feel like these movies a lot of the time are afraid to just get too comic booky, and I think this is the best fight scene we've seen, especially so far. In
Oh
the
my
X-Men
God, yeah,
universe.
so far, 100%.
So cool, and I
Great.
love how long it went.
Yep.
I love how anything cool that they could do with it, they
did, yeah.
Great sound design in this
Yeah.
whole scene. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
They had one of the sequences that lasted a fair amount of time was him and that one guy that like they kept mirroring each other's moves to like dodge
Yeah.
the stuff behind them.
And he faked him out.
He fakes him out. What a
So
good moment when
so
he
an
fakes him
interesting
out.
thing here between
Yeah.
the normal cut versus the unleashed cut is this what did have a lot more added things, including them getting stabbed a lot more. And when he gets like stabbed through his hand or whatever, like that's not in the other cut. And a lot of the cool sound design stuff is because for the continuity of the editing, they had to cut the music for a lot of it because the music tracks didn't add. So there was a lot of silent parts that were just
I loved it.
stuff,
That was
and
great.
it was fucking cool.
I thought it was better. I mean, like I enjoyed that it didn't have the music in it. It added to like sort of the intensity. It reminded me of like a fight in Game of Thrones or something, where it's like just like taking away the production. It's just like raw like fighting and weird sounds. I thought
And
was
did
rad.
it look good? No. Did it look bad? No.
No.
It was
I
somewhere
was,
in the middle,
I
yeah.
was like, all right.
It looks unique.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's interesting how violent it was. Like there were so many moments where I was like, oh my God, like that guy died painfully, you know?
I know this is like a dumb thing to talk about. It's a fucking movie. It's a comic book movie, whatever. But as it was happening, I was just thinking like, man, these guys are really not just going to be like, you know what, I'm good. I know I'm loyal, but like, I'm now on the side of a fucking bullet train fighting a man with claws.
Yeah.
Well, that was my thing
Done.
too. Of like, yeah, what was the end game even for these normal humans that are up there? It was like, how the fuck am I getting down from this on this 300-mile-an-hour train? Yeah, real quick, what it reminded me a lot of was Train to Busan, which is a horror movie, a foreign language
Zombie
horror movie.
movie, right?
Yeah, zombie movie, train horror, where it's got a unique style that I feel is foreign to us as an American audience. That you don't see fight scenes like we saw on the train in this movie as much. Like, you know how like when you watch a foreign film and it's just shot differently and there's a different thing to it. That's how this read to me.
I feel like they did a good job, like, because the CG obviously is what it is. Like, it wasn't practical, right? No. But I felt like the momentum of the fight made it believable. Like, they did a good job.
It was good choreography.
Yeah, exactly.
It was good, like, because I mean that scene's long.
Yeah.
They're on top of
long.
that train for a while, and it's fun. And there's different moments of like. They must have broken it down by like, okay, we're gonna have that moment that Kev was talking about earlier, where it's like we're jumping, which was just silly and stupid.
So
and fun,
silly.
but also fucking intense because if you miss that jump, as we see, the guy just gets creamed.
You know
and
what it
then-
reminds me of, Kev? The Great America James Bond
Oh my
4D
God.
theater experience.
Such an
Do you guys know
amazing
what I'm talking about?
experience.
You know the Jurassic Park thing?
Sure.
James
Blows air in
Bond
your
was
face
one
and
of them.
stuff.
Okay.
And the way that he beats
So
the bad
good.
guys, they're on top of a train, and then he convinces the guy to stand up, and he gets hit in the head. which is like,
Very good.
you know. He makes a pun, but I don't remember what it was.
Don't lose your
Heads
head.
up.
Shocking.
Something like that, probably.
Shocking.
Heads up sounds good.
Shocking.
No, he get electrocuted. So anyways, the train sequence is happening. Originally, she wanted to go to her like ancestral home, whatever. Wolverine's like, that's stupid. This whole thing
been such a long
happens. Then he
day.
comes downstairs, and I appreciate the whole like she knew nothing had happened. Nobody on the train knew anything had happened. That was cool. Even though they're throwing people out the
Unrealistic,
yeah. They again, it's
They were
similar to.
stabbing holes into the train.
And they were throwing people out the side of the train. I feel like there's some kind of sensor or alarm or trigger on somewhere of that happening. He's like, we're getting off here. They get off. It's a new town. They start walking. Where's the downtown? 8 blocks that way. All right, this is good enough. They stay in a love motel with all their themed sex rooms and shit, which is hot.
That was a funny little
Cool,
scene.
man.
Yeah, real fun.
Is that a
Talking-
real thing?
Oh, love hotels, yeah, big time.
It's pretty cool.
You should go to Japan, Kevin.
I want to.
Okay.
So bad.
You have enough sex, Kevin.
No.
She goes to bed. Logan ain't gonna sleep. He's also still bleeding all over the place. This was covered in the bullet train as well. That he was bleeding still. He stands out there to watch guard. I think he's making them more obvious.
Yeah.
Hey, there's this fucking
In the rain.
gaijin up there standing outside being
Just
a weirdo.
walking around looking down, being all judgy.
Everyone's looking up at him like, who the fuck's this guy?
They would have had no idea where he was if he
Exactly.
just stayed in the
Stayed
fucking
in the
room.
room. Yeah.
But he doesn't, of course, and then he starts having another dream about Jean Grey right there, a waking dream. Now, granted, maybe it's just him, you know, how you play
He's
out a
losing a lot of
conversation.
blood here.
You're playing a conversation in your head or whatever. I still think it's psychoactive.
Now flip around.
He is losing a lot of blood, right? She says that, like, oh, he's losing a lot of blood.
Flip around the syllables in gaijin.
Jean Guy.
Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Oh my
there you
God.
go. There you go.
She says you're slipping or whatever. She disappears.
really-
It's a
I
dude
like that
there.
moment.
Guns firing. There's a little bit of an action scene there. I think he's about to get thrown off, but then she comes over and stabs him with the plastic key. That was a weird choice, but okay. And they toss him over the side of the thing. He falls down there. Or Logan already fallen over.
She
She
threw it
stabs
like
him,
a-
then he throws over.
Like a
Dagger.
Yeah,
I thought she
dagger.
stabbed him.
knife.
She threw it.
No, well, later when he's down at the bottom, she throws. Doesn't she throw one?
Yeah, she throws a knife at the
Yeah.
guy down there.
But it
Well,
wasn't
she already
knife,
said
it
she was
the
good with
keys.
knives. We knew
Yeah.
that part of her.
She nailed
Did we
it.
ever talk about how fucking Blade Runner is shit this is?
Oh yeah.
So tight.
Well, we didn't talk about that specifically.
We didn't, but like it
The
really
shot
was.
of her stand, or even him when he
Yeah.
was
In the
just
rain,
like
yeah.
kind of being all moody and shit, standing in the rain. I'm like,
Yeah.
I love that they're like, fuck it, Tokyo, neon lights, rain.
Done.
Let's
We're
do
gonna
it.
do the
That's the
shot.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Akira.
I'm glad they did.
So he's down there. Everybody's wet. They stop the bad guys, but the jig is up. They know where they are. Let's keep going. We got to get out of here. Our cover's blown here. I'm sure we jump back a few times
doesn't
to
he- I think
shitty dad or whatever.
He passes out though, and then he wakes up, and that
Correct.
veterinarian kid.
Yeah,
is
the veterinarian
working on
kid
him,
is,
Which that was another scene where I was like, I really like. Why is this kid all scared? It's like, well, you stabbed him a bunch of times.
That was
by
funny.
accident. That was funny. Also, is he a doctor? Yeah, kind of. Like large animals.
I like that
That's
a lot.
good.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Good moments there.
Yeah. So we got to keep going. All right, now we are going to go to Nagasaki. We are going to go to your little house, which again, yeah, not only
It's not a smart place to go. Why
they would
go
know
there?
to look there for you, but then we just talked. We go chop wood in the center square, all this shit. And she makes a great meal, and they do all stuff. Then we're going to go chop the wood and help
They're
all this
family
stuff.
at that point.
Well, I know. They're starting the seeds of love are beginning, or whatever you want to call it, are beginning to be sown. We can see what's happening.
romance,
They
what
have
I
a
wanna
nice
call
little
it.
countryside life going on here. You know what I mean? He's out there. Yeah, he's jacked. He's got his tank top on. He's fucking cutting shit up. Great. Then we go over to the hole in the ground there that was Nagasaki. We get more flashbacks again. Yeah,
Cool
this is
scene.
it.
I liked that. I felt like they did a really good job. Like we all knew there was a reveal coming, but
Yeah.
I feel like the way they did it and with how beautiful it looked and the dialogue they had about like him saying, I don't remember what it was, but it's just like even bad things get good eventually or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, they did a really good job
Yeah.
setting that moment up.
So then we go back. Yeah, we go back to the house. This is where we knock boots. When we come back, we're putting on kimonos. We're doing all this stuff.
yeah.
She's helping tie kimonos. Then it's like, you know what? We're gonna get it on. This is what's gonna
Yep.
happen here. It's good. It's
Let's
good.
get
It is
it
good.
on
It was
back
a
of
sweet
on.
moment.
Real
Logan
bad.
deserved it.
No chemistry
done.
at all.
Nope.
Hey, but again,
there was-
they were just in it to bang.
It was
Hugh
that
Jackman
heat moment.
have chemistry with anyone romantically.
Kate Leopold, man.
in
Kate
these movies.
Leopold.
Not
Oh,
that
that's right.
not that I can really.
I don't think he
pinpoint.
does ever. Even I
his
mean,
granddaughter,
Logan
you know
doesn't
what
have
I mean?
anyone.
I mean,
but-
there was more chemistry between him and Rogue.
Seriously,
To
I
be
think
fair,
him and Rogue's
he had-
number one.
I think he had really good, and I don't mean this in like a sexual way, but I think he had really good chemistry with the girl in Logan.
Yeah.
As a father-daughter
Oh, sure.
relationship thing. But I think
I
that
think he
was,
has good chemistry with other characters, just not romantically. Like I feel like romantically, there's every single person.
Well,
But I
It's
don't
not-
think. But I
that's
don't think it's his fault. I don't think it's her fault. I just think the way the story progresses, you're like, this is very fast, and it's not.
Maybe they just wanted to bang. I think that's my
totally
thing. Is I
fine.
think we're all hung up on it being love when it can just be, hey, we're having this intimate moment. A lot of shit's happening.
I think there's no sexual chemistry. Like there wasn't at all.
Yeah.
It just
different culture,
seems
Tim.
so forced. Like let's just have this hot woman and this hot man bang.
Yeah, all right.
And
I'm about
it
that
bang.
made no
me.
sense to me.
It didn't really work for me.
Made
either.
no
I
sense.
don't get
to me.
it.
Anyways, he falls asleep, wakes up, and Jean Grey stuff again. All right, we get it. You
What
fucking
that
thinking
was an
about your-
awful
you know what
scene.
I mean?
That's a nightmare right there. Waking up, your dead ex girlfriend.
Yeah, but I appreciate that he just told her.
You
He
know
just-
this won't last, and he was like, "Yeah."
He just let it all out. He just laid it all out there, right? Yeah, you know, like, fucking, she's dead. I killed her. Oh, all right, cool. And then, you know, she doesn't run away. She lays on his chest. All right, that's sweet. I'm sure we've cut back to shitty fucking son and shitty fucking dad a few more times. Probably shitty fucking fiance who's like, well, whatever.
We cut back to that scene with Hamada and Viper, right? She's like,
Sure.
you gotta go do this. And you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
convoluted.
I don't
know
take
what-
orders from you. And then she like
Scratches
spit on him,
yeah,
scratched
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that-
scratched him and blew on it.
So fucking weird. Like
Yeah.
that was
That
the
was,
point
like,
in the movie that I'm
painful.
like, I am paying attention to this.
I don't know what's happening.
Why are you two talking?
Yeah.
I thought you were enemies.
Yeah.
Oh, you're friends, but you also don't like each other.
Right.
And I feel like
A
even
means
as
to
the
an
movie
end.
goes on,
It's never really
very muddled.
Yeah.
Very
Not
muddled.
fleshed
It's
out that well.
Harada was with like served the dad.
Mm-hmm.
No, the grandpa.
also
It was the
Foot Clan.
grandpa. Okay,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
Black Clan or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Foot
Black
Clan.
Ninja.
Foot Clan.
Foot Clan.
They're not the called
Foot
Foot
Clan.
Ninjas.
They're the black
No,
something.
yeah. I think they're just the Black Ninja
Black
clan.
Hand, man.
Black Ninja Clan.
Isn't it the
Yeah.
black?
Foot.
It's the Blackfoot.
Foot Clan.
No,
Foot
the
Clan.
foot
Foot
is
Clan.
from the
All right,
Ninja
let's move
Turtle.
on.
Crossover. It's
So then the next day, of
XCTMNTU.
course, because
She gets fucking kidnapped.
Of course, because this is the most obvious place she's ever been, and she's probably the most famous.
Why was
fucking
she standing
person
outside? Why was she
in the
outside?
planet on in Japan?
You think she was going
She's
to get
in
him
this town.
breakfast or something?
It is in fact the Black Ninja Clan.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Seems racist. Yeah, so he gives chase. He gets shot in the leg. He can't keep up. They get close. They
Throws
get away.
one dude like 30 feet.
Throws a dude, yeah, and then he interrogates that dude eventually, right? That's the one we're
Yeah.
thinking of. Yeah, that was
That's where
awesome.
he
I don't
finds-
talk. And it's
What did
DK.
he do? Did he do something gruesome with him?
Yeah, he did.
Cut his
I think
throat out or
I think he
some
just like shot him in the chest. Shot him. He stabbed him. Yeah, but real good.
Real good.
Yukio shows up. She's like, "Hey, what's up, man? Let's
been a
let's
while.
go back. I
What a
saw.
dope car.
Did she say this? Where I saw you die? Yeah, that's what drove her over here. She saw him dying, heart in his hands. Okay, whatever. We got to go though. They stole Marco. All right, we got it. You're driving back to Tokyo now. That's the sound of her car driving.
Which is funny because when she said heart and hands, I took that like metaphorically.
Yeah. So when it happened, I'm like, that's pretty fucking
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
I saw
Oh, I thought that was literal right from the beginning.
a like Easter egg thing that I'm like, I think you guys are just stretching, but whatever, it's still fun. Is that later references Logan, and it's possible because
Don't
the
spoil
same
all of
director-
Logan, just because I'm sure that people are watching along with us.
Well, they're like, okay. Stop here.
When
then.
you watch Logan, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I watched Logan and left,
Yeah.
and somebody said that, and I was like, oh. But I do think in this thing, it was very
It's a stretch.
specific. She
Yeah.
saw the thing we saw in this
Yeah.
movie.
Although you do wonder at the end, because she has that sort of look on her face, if she does know when he dies, like if she does see it later, like way later, doesn't matter. Continue.
No.
I'm saying
So
now
we're
the
coming
game.
back.
Yeah.
We're back. Americo gets dropped
go to
off
DK's,
with
right?
fucking Hawkeye. He's over there. He's like, that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, that's when we go to DK's house.
Yeah, and he's like, because he was like, "Who sent you?" And then they go to
Right,
DK's,
right.
DK's party, and like it's fucking.
I love it.
Cocaine
I love
just
how
came back in a
fucking
fashion.
Just out of place it seems
Yeah.
of him. A lot of bright colors and him in his fucking underwear.
having a great time.
With
He's
that
having
goddamn
so much
mustache.
fun.
Hookers.
Right.
Going again, right?
Why are you doing this? He says why he's doing it. I don't fucking remember. We're doing all stuff.
This is a
Great.
business
Well,
thing.
the best part though is he throws him over the fucking side. That was awesome. I didn't
And
like.
I
what you
love
said.
the line of like, "Did you know there's a pool there?" He's like, "No."
How did you know the pool was there? I didn't.
So fucking
Yeah.
good. That is actually a reference to a James Bond movie. The scene is a reference to a similar scene from the Bond film Diamonds Are Forever. in which a gangster quips, "I didn't know there was a pool down there," after throwing plenty of tool out a window. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Me
but
neither.
He still would have died though, probably. Yeah.
I even feel like this dude getting thrown.
No, we live in a world where radiation doesn't kill people, let alone pools.
I wish
so
he
we're
had
gonna be
died
okay.
though. It would have been so much
Yeah, I
stronger
think
if
it
he
would've
had
been
just threw
better.
him out thing and she was
Yeah, but
like,
then
"Oh,
Wolverine,
street
he's straight
dead."
up a murderer.
He is already.
Yeah.
Do you remember Stan? Stan could have been saved. All he did was
Wolverine
a
is
fucking
not
It was a mercy killing.
antidote to the
Stands
poison.
in the pool with him. No, you threw him on me. He landed on me.
We're gonna come down for a daiquiri.
All right, so yeah, Mariko's over there. Viper's there. They got a plan. Here's the Silver Samurai. Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. That shit's happened. Yeah. That's not
He's
what they
like,
call the
John,
giant
he's like, you gotta
robot?
trust
That's
me.
fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yada yada yada. You gotta trust me. Right.
I didn't know where you were going. I thought we were back at like.
No, I told you
Their
Mariko's
family
over
house.
there. Viper's over there.
Got it.
Silver Samurai's there. Black Ninja guys, Hawkeye's like, oh, fucking this is the way to do it. It means the end. Like, this is stupid. I don't understand what you're doing.
This movie, I honestly feel, and I know we say this for every fucking movie we ever watch, but there's 30 minutes. And I know we watched the extended cut.
Yeah.
But so much of the extended cut, I think, did add to it. There's
Oh, sure.
30
Absolutely
to 40
did.
minutes that you could just take out, and this would be a much stronger,
Much better movie.
And I don't even know exactly where the
I think
points
it's a
I would
little bit
take out
smaller
are.
this time. I think it's more like 10 minutes.
I don't think so, man.
that you
There's
cut
so
out.
many action scenes, and I'm like, well, some of them were cool. A lot of them could have been cut, and I feel like so much of the whole storylines.
All of the Viper lot, it could have been cut out.
Yeah, no,
I think
Viper
that would have
totally
helped.
should have been cut out of this movie.
Yeah.
100%. She confuses everything. It could have just been a doctor.
Yeah.
That, yup, I'm going to put a robot thing on you, and that'll be the fucking thing. How's that hard? You know what I mean? Viper, by the way, had already gone to the fucking house and fucked with the shitty dad, shitty fucking son, all that crap. Poisoned him. He went into the water. You thought he's dead. He ain't dead.
He was fine, it seemed.
Exactly.
Totally fine.
Logan shows up. Yukio's there. They're gonna. We got to figure this shit out. What's going on?
Logan, we're at this place, so you got to come get us. And Logan's like, wait a minute. There was nothing in the I remember seeing those spiders in that tank, and now there's no spiders in that tank. So clearly, one of them must be strangling my heart.
I'm gonna cut myself.
Hey, he saw. He saw. They
He
did
took
the
a little thing. Yeah,
They
did
did
a
right.
little
They did
MRI
right.
machine.
Which, by the
That's
way,
true.
was so Trauma Center. Remember you ever play those DS
yeah.
games? I was like, this is literally I've done this mission in Trauma Center of tapping these fucking things off. Yeah, he's doing that, but then guess what? The fucking shitty dad shows up with his ninja sword. He's fucking trying to fight stuff, and so the thing gets knocked off, and Logan's already got his hand up his own chest. Fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Fucking brutal. At which point,
Cool scene.
I'd forgotten it. I thought he was gonna, while he was up there, go fuck it and go shink and like stab the thing and his heart, like and kill himself obviously, but then retract it and the bug would have been dead. And
That would have been really cool. It's upsetting
instead
they
he
didn't do
actually
that.
grabs it and pulls it out. And
You
I was
should
like,
make these fucking movies.
you know
dude.
what? I've been saying it for a long time. Nobody listens. You know what I mean? Anyways, though, thing that happens, he dies. Yukio's all fucking crybaby about it. Fucking bad dad's there, and he's like, "You're street trash," and like, "You were a fucking pet to my
What a
daughter," and yada
dick.
yada. Like, fuck you, man. This guy sucks. Can't wait for him
Totally
to
sucks.
Can't wait for
Absolutely
him to fucking die.
irredeemable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's. I was just gonna say it's interesting where she was like, he's all right when she was talking about his like sword, but
Yeah.
like he beats her.
He beats her.
Oh yeah, no, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a very good swordsman.
Yeah.
But guess what? Logan not dead. He's back. He can heal again. Oh my god! And I appreciate again that what we're saying. The fucking dad beats Logan.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? And like I thought it was actually the whole movie and like you talk about Japan and honor, right? And she talks about you have to bow and you have to do this and like we're a culture of honor. You wouldn't get it. I thought it's a very understated moment that maybe I'm reading just too much into. But when the dad's beating Logan, he's cut him through the side, he's done all this stuff, he's like, and Logan's just like, whatever, and gets to the end, and is just like, basically, you've already beaten me, and it's just like, it doesn't kill him. He's like, I think for me it was
live with this.
listen, you've already you in a real fight you would have won. You're better. Just we're gonna kill your daughter. You suck. I'm gonna walk away. And I was like, oh, that's a cool thing. And the dad comes at him, stabs him in the chest, and Logan's like, did you
Well,
not
fuck this.
fucking
So
learn
dumb.
anything, you
Yeah, the old
moron?
Megatron
It's
and
so
Optimus
cool.
guy.
Right?
do
What
that?
are you? And I'm the Wolverine.
So fucking
That was
awesome.
awesome. That was fucking awesome.
It reminds me of I don't know what it reminds. I don't know where I was
Ghostbusters.
going with that. I'm sorry, but the problem that I have with it is like he is having these troubles with normal humans that are obviously really well trained
Yeah.
fighters, but like just tackle the fucking guy. You know what I mean? Like there are so many better ways to take on this fight than to.
Actually
Then to
fight
keep-
him with honor.
Yeah,
like
and it just bothered me. And then at the very very end, again, I'm skipping forward, so sorry, but with the fucking Silver Samurai guy, when he tackles him down, it's like
he tackled
no,
him
you
3 times,
quit
and that's a
tackling.
giant metal robot.
You had the
There's
fucking,
no way.
You had the fire sword.
You had the high ground.
But then with this guy, like I don't know, it it really just annoys me that like I've seen you take on Sabretooth, you know, like a super strong mutant, and this guy's a human being with a sword. Like, sure, you're gonna get cut. Fucking grab the sword and go in there. You know
That's
what I mean?
comic books though. In comic book
annoying.
movies, like I mean, it's not a fun fight for him just to fucking eviscerate the dude right there. It would have been cool, but it's a shorter thing. You know what I mean?
It was a cool fight though to see him like kind of try to fight along with the samurai.
Right.
Bested.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, yeah, it stabs through the throat. Fucking dope. Now we're gonna go down to the hometown or whatever where he's built this giant fortress
The
where
factory.
they got the fucking thing and all this stuff. Of course, the Foot Clan, they knew the guy was coming. They've been training. Viper's like, here's this poison. It won't kill him, but it'll slow down his healing.
need it.
Hawkeye's like, I don't need this shit, man. I'm gonna fight with honor. She's like, all right, when you fucking need it, you have it.
Here it is.
And so he gets there and Logan gets there. They all start fighting and they're all shocked when he can heal again. And then he just fucking starts fighting all these ninjas.
That was a good
what
scene.
A fucking scene
Yeah.
this was, man. The whole thing I thought was great. And the extended cut, there is a lot that's added, a lot more rated R stuff of her in the
Yeah.
snowblower with the fucking
the wood chipper kind
the
of
wood chipper
snowblower.
thing, which
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never seen one of those, but fuck it, it's cool. Loved the gratuitous fucking blood being shot
Yeah.
out. But what I loved the most was the buildup of that whole fight of just him being overwhelmed by numbers. And like they can hit him and he can heal, but
Still,
that
all
doesn't
those
stop him from
arrows
being
in his
held
back.
back. And
Yeah.
the arrows on the ropes, just one by one. I just thought they did such a great job with
Yep.
the cinematography of
Yeah.
it, the choreography of it, and that scene meant something, right? Like him being like just held back from saving her, and then the way that it cuts to her view of it, and the way that it was lit, and you just see him with all these fucking ropes attached.
Yeah.
to him. It's
That's like a one perfect
So-
shot Twitter.
Yeah,
account.
totally.
so cool.
I hated the gratuitous like blood.
What?
I thought it was so cheesy.
I
and,
loved
like,
it's, but it's supposed
Again,
to be cheesy.
No, but
I
like-
think this movie does a really good job of having fun in moments, and also being very serious and dark in other moments. Like it has the cool train sequence,
Isn't that a trope too in of like samurai movies, like the
like
blood?
excessive use amount
yeah.
of blood. I mean, to me,
For me, it felt like to the material.
yeah.
to me, it felt like a comedy Evil Dead moment.
Totally.
I didn't like I'm okay with like him like fucking slashing an arm off or that shit is whatever because that's like kind of like
It reminded me very much of Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino, excessive blood for like dramatic sakes, which I think is like bringing back an old trope.
maybe I don't know. The snowblower was just the thing that took it to another level of like what movie did this become like what like what
Rated R, dude, unleashed cut.
Yeah, but it's just so unnecessary.
How did she get knocked out?
He told her to leave. He's like
it
run.
blew up.
No.
It like blew up.
What blew up?
He hit the tank.
Yeah,
Oh,
he had a
that's
cigar
awesome.
hit up
Yeah,
the
that's
propane
right.
tank.
Because he
Yeah,
puts
yeah.
the cigar in his mouth first, and then hits the tank and blows up. And
No,
then
he
walks
told her
out.
to run.
Fucking
Yeah,
cool.
he
never
Yeah,
got
but it must
knocked
have
out.
blown up.
She
and
got
knocked
blown
her out,
into
yeah.
like a.
They
into,
don't
like, one
show
of the
that though.
sheds.
That is
Oh.
weird.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Because it was weird to see her wake up in the
It's
snow.
like, why'd
And
you
it's like, where the hell
why'd
did
you
you go?
take a nap?
Like, this is one of those instances.
Did
where
they
I'm
not
like,
show that? I
should
thought
have
I
just-
understood that.
I'm glad they cut this part out because in the original theatrical release, that whole section with her is not in it. You just it cuts from him going in, and then you see her slice through the gate and walk up into the building, which is it was cool.
I like this scene. I like this a lot.
It was gruesome, but I thought the reason I didn't like this was because in the original one, he starts fighting and starts losing very quickly. And like, yeah, he fights back, but then they get to that amazing shot where all of the ninjas are just shooting arrows into him and pulling him back, and it's like wide shot of this beast that is like trying desperately to get to like to this person that he's trying to save, and they're just like they're puppet mastering his ass and pulling him back, and it looked like a cell out of a comic book, which
That's
I thought was
what
really
we're
cool.
talking
about.
Yeah,
Wasn't
So
it?
fucking good.
I'm sure it was.
don't
I'm sure it
remember.
was in the original comic book. There's
Yeah.
no reason. There's no way they came up with that
It's
on
too
their
cool,
own.
man.
You know,
So
it's
great.
fucking cool as shit.
And then we get to the rest of the movie,
Then we get to the third act of
which
this
is
film.
not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Based
Still
on everything
wasn't
I heard.
good.
It's not good.
So yeah, Wolverine was trying to get in there and they wouldn't let him. So what do they do once they capture him? They bring him right in there. Great, okay. They put him in this little
got him in the little
chair,
restraint, yeah.
right? He's got it restrained. Eventually, Viper's over there talking all this shit to him, and he fucking pulls out his claws. And then she bolts down the claws. That was cool.
That was a really smart thing because the whole time she was talking shit, I was like, "What are you doing? You're standing right between his claws. You know what this man does."
She did.
And she did. She knew exactly
Fucking
what he
played
did.
him like a fiddle. He puts him out. Silver Samurai comes to life. He's made of adamantium. He's got a adamantium sword that heats up, and they're gonna chop off these claws and to get to it. And you're like, that seems painful.
Also, let's for a moment talk about like the finances of the company and
Sure.
the reason why the son wasn't inheriting the actual company was because he ruined the business. But in reality, the grandpa had spent all the money buying the adamantium.
Put him into bankruptcy.
And the
research
son
and
had
R&D.
just hidden all that so that stockholders didn't know, if keeping the company afloat. So really fucked up that he blamed the son when it was really
Dad,
he was
this
the one
is you.
doing-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns
It's
out
on
the
you.
son, the good guy the entire time.
No, not the good guy. No, he still definitely put a hit on his daughter.
Well, she was ungrateful.
I got some timeline questions here.
Here we go.
With this
Uh-huh,
movie.
I'm listening.
Couple things. First off, so why does Logan remember the World War II stuff?
Why wouldn't he?
He got his
an
memory wiped after they
adamantium
shot
bullet
him.
to the
good
brain.
point. Who
So
the fuck-
that's super weird. And then the other thing, and I feel like this is kind of
they were
cleared up
pretending
because they
like
show them
origins
looking
didn't
through their
exist.
dossier or whatever, and you see Storm and Professor X and all that. But the guy was studying healing and all that, trying to figure out what Logan's powers were. But then he also knew about the adamantium. Like, why would the Japanese
I
dude
imagine
know?
that he's been stalking Wolverine
Like,
for
keeping
years.
track of him.
And we
trying to
saw
figure
that in
out-
the
He
papers,
figured out
yeah.
the
So we saw a
there's
shot of
metal
him
in
from Origin when he had the cool
I just
hair.
wonder, I don't know, whatever. I know I'm thinking way too hard about this.
It's
but
broken, man.
You can't just Wikipedia search what type of metal is in this man's body.
It's
Yeah, but
Well-
you get your hands on the files from
Strikers files or
Stryker,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
And the other
fair.
thing too is I mean this is all fast and loose, but just to give him an out, wasn't it that Professor X through X1, 2, and you assume 3 until everything goes down, was helping him unlock things, right, and remember
But
things.
he can't, his brain got,
I don't know.
he has a new
don't
brain.
get me wrong. I
with
still
new
don't
neural-
think the fucking brain thing makes sense.
There's
either,
no
but-
answer to this.
Yeah.
It's broken.
That's
Yeah,
my
that's it.
least favorite thing about the XCU is the lack of continuity between movies.
Sure.
Where it's
well, we're about to fix that with
Yeah.
the next one.
Kind of.
kind of.
So we get there. We don't get our claws chopped off. We get out of the thing because America pushes us or whatever. She I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
we
she
get out of the
knocks
goddamn
him
chair.
free or something.
Yeah. They're at the chair. The fight's gonna happen. They all start fighting.
She got in the way, right?
Yeah, she ran in front. That's it. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he went
He stopped the
sideways
plane.
around,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Good call, Andy. Thanks for that.
And you're like, why did this robot get
yeah,
scared?
what is up with this robot?
Yeah.
No. And so then, Logan starts fighting him. This is all happening fast and crazy, and
He
it's
knocks
all
off the
CG.
head right away.
Yeah,
It's
it does,
happening
right?
fast and slow at the same time.
Yeah, he eventually gets. Does he lose his claw? One claw first
One claw
before he.
first,
Yeah, he
yeah.
loses the first
Yeah.
claw. Then he can't make the sword light up. Then he remembers, oh, 2 hands, Japanese sword, lights up. Fucking lops off the head. We think it's over. No, old man comes out like fucking turtle dude, like that Dana Carvey turtle character.
Turtle.
And he's like, bruh, just fucking give me what I want or whatever. Chops off the other claw. He's like, oh my God. And then he grabs him by his hands grab Logan's hands and they start fucking bone marrow drilling
I
in
liked
there.
how that looked.
Oh,
I hated everything
hated
about
it,
it.
but
So
I liked
cringy.
it.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
it's
so
like,
cool.
oh,
I also want to know,
no.
I thought it was cool that they went through the added detail of once they got chopped off, in the middle of the blade itself was the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you saw a little bit of the nub of the bone.
Why didn't the bone instantly start growing
Don't
again?
ask questions you
Plots,
don't want the answer
'cause we
to.
needed it for the plot. You know
But
what I
then
mean?
again,
Ask
you remember
questions.
why isn't the blade the bone shape?
Yeah, don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
Why is it a knife?
So yeah, that's happening. Logan's
that'd be so
dying.
useless.
Young man or old man's getting young again. Then
Which I understand. They're like, we need to visually show this. That was fucking dumb. Really
so
fucking dumb.
Why would it make him young? Shouldn't it just make
he's
him
healing like Logan.
But that's like
He's not going back in time.
Yeah, that's the thing. Logan
not
is
Back to the
stuck at
Future, Greg.
age 18 or something. He's not 40 though. I mean, sure, he's aged
45.
since then. But his
55.
character, when does his mutant powers kick in? Actually, it's when he's even younger
Yeah,
than
he's
that.
super
That's
young. He's a
Wolverine
boy.
origins,
Yeah.
and they go from there. But even then, it's it gets time, and they've explained it
Yeah.
not so much in the movies, but in the comics that
He's slowly
it's-
aging.
Yeah, slowly aging, and that's why you see with
Well, in
Logan.
Logan, they attribute that to being poisoned by the adamantium.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
So, also, you were saying that the next movie fixes this. The next movie takes this out of continuity
good
because
point.
this is all about whatchamacallit dying, and she doesn't die then. So this movie does not happen.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Wait, what? The next movie's about?
Days of
The
Future
next,
Past.
remember at the
We'll-
end of the
we'll
next
jump
movie?
Oh,
over this
you're
bridge.
saying that
Yeah.
movie retcons this movie.
Yes.
I see. I thought you were saying that it ignores this movie, but you're saying because
it
I got
erases this movie.
Now I'm caught up with you. But Logan remembers, so who cares? Anyways, I'm
That's
getting
true.
younger and I'm stupid and stupid. America was like, remember I got knives, and she picks up Wolverine's collar. She goes boop boop, and he's like, oh no, he's like, it's me, it's
That
me,
looked
Grandpa.
extremely
And she's like, you're a
painful.
fucking idiot. I already killed you. You're already dead once. I can't cry for you again or whatever. He lets go of Logan.
Looking like pulls all the shit
dies.
off of him.
Oh yeah, Logan
then
rips
stabs him
apart
right in the-
Adamantium with his bare hands. Like I don't understand.
And then stabs him with the bone claws.
Don't understand
baby.
what's
Bone
going on.
claws
Yeah,
come
then he goes,
back.
bah, and he's got
Yeah,
his
the
bone claws back.
dick
Ah,
claws.
yeah, all right, cool.
And then the press found the body at the bottom of the river. Like, oh my god, he was in this suit. Holy shit! What does this do for the family corporation?
And then there's like everyone in that town got suddenly rich somehow because that suit's worth $80 billion of adamantium.
Dude, everyone in that town died. Those were the ninjas.
Did we talk
about
they were
Yukio
working
fighting
out of
Viper?
the factory?
No.
Yeah, whatever.
We don't need
She
to.
fights
Who cares?
her.
But I think-
Viper does this thing.
No, but the Viper's death of getting hit by the weights flying up is like one of the most brutal things.
So
Yeah,
fucking
that was
messed
painful.
up.
Not only was her fall really brutal, like the way her body hit the ground,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
flying up was like I had to rewind that. Like holy shit, that
Yeah.
was
The
nuts.
noise that it make when it hit her.
You just
like,
see her
oh,
neck,
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
She's like,
oh
oh
my
no,
God.
that person died.
Yeah.
It was similar to
Good
seeing
luck
in
growing that skin
Hereditary.
back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, all's well that ends well. Mariko, she's in charge of the fucking corporation now. Everybody's fucking jonesing for that. They're happy about that shit. Great, she's doing that. Logan finally got his fucking plane.
They
Good.
killed Hawkeye too.
Yeah, did they? I don't know.
Yeah, they
killed him.
did.
Whatever.
That was another. What a
stabbed him in the
wasted.
fucking
What a
heart.
wasted character.
Yeah.
You know, where it was like that's supposed to be the Silver Surfer. No, Dad.
Yeah, stupidly, like
Or whatever,
I
you
feel
know what
like
I mean.
their relationship should have been the one that was explored, not Logan and America.
Right, because it was weird. Like, oh, we were meant to be together. We were
We've
in love.
loved each other since we were
And then
kids.
now
She
I'm
was
gonna
like,
fuck
yeah,
you.
maybe.
If this movie took out
And she
Viper
stabs him.
and DK, I think it would have been much stronger if they gave their attributes to
Yeah.
the other characters.
I like DK though. I enjoyed him just a little.
He was confusing. What
Yeah,
is it?
he
What
was-
is your
he was
role?
confusing
Like, what is
character.
going
It just-
on?
I'm not mad at him being in it, although I will say that I wish that Hawkeye was Han. It
would've been
made me
amazing.
That much happier.
I just hated the Hawkeye moment of like we were meant to be together, and then she stabs him in the fucking leg, and she pieces out, and then he's like, "This is madness," and with a stabbed leg, he's like, "I gotta shoot Viper," and it's like, what the fuck is this movie doing, man? Like,
He was the Stan.
he was the bear the whole time.
He had to like he
The
got stabbed with
spirit
the
of
arrow,
Stan.
and then he had to go. You know, he went. He had to
Spirit of
summon. Logan says goodbye to Mariko. You're gonna or no, America, whatever the fuck. And you're gonna hang out with me? No, I'm not gonna hang out with you. You got a company to run, and I'm a fucking soldier. I've been away from the war too long.
What war makes
What
no
an
Mutiny
sense.
war, motherfucker. The
What a
war for
fucking-
mutiny rights.
What a booty call excuse. Like
Yeah.
that's 101
Dude,
booty
but,
call.
but here's the
Like,
thing.
I'm busy, man.
If you had a nickel for every time you had to tell a girl, been away from
I'm
the
a
war.
soldier, and I've been away from the war too long.
But like that's how you know neither of them wanted it, because she was like, "All right, cool. Here's a plane to wherever you want. You don't know where you're going? Don't worry about
We'll
it.
wait till we get
It's
in
gonna go
disguise,
over there."
then we'll figure it out.
They
That's
should've-
not how
Now,
planes work.
awesome. Of course, I've talked about it before on this show. The deleted scene that isn't here. But if you it's
It really
still
should have been.
if you look in the background, you see a guy walk over and give
hand her the
Yukio
suitcase.
the giant suitcase or whatever. There's a deleted scene you should all YouTube of him opening it, and it's the yellow and brown Wolverine suit.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Why would
Doesn't
anyone be
fucking
giving
matter.
him that? You know.
Because it's a fucking form of honor, right? It's some fucking honor.
nailed it. Form of honor.
bullshit. All right.
Yeah, I went and Googled it, like why they didn't put that in there, and I think
Because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
well, Mangold's reasoning behind it, why he's like we decided not to put it in there was just straight up the character. He was like, why would Wolverine, a guy who can heal and doesn't need a suit, why would he ever want to put on a bright yellow suit
It wasn't bright yellow. It was muted. It was a mustard.
But he was like, people put on suits so that
Dijon.
they can build a
Hi,
brand and
yeah.
take credit for like what they're
Sure,
doing.
sure.
Or if for a specific purpose, and Wolverine does not want to do that, so he's like,
Sure.
we just cut it out.
Who the fuck cares? They
He just assumed
retcon
he would
everything
piss
else.
just to
Couldn't
make
just do
people
this. Huh?
busy.
So instead,
Wait
we
for the
just get him
MCU.
sitting
We'll
on
get
the
it.
fucking plane. Yukio comes in. Where are we going? I don't know. What are we doing? I don't know. We'll figure it out in the fucking air. We're just going.
And it's just like there's something about it that it just felt so obvious that the directors and shit didn't understand exactly where they were going next with it. And it felt weird. And we talked earlier about this, and I looked it up after, and it was right. The mid-credit scene was shot later.
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't know exactly where he wanted to go. Otherwise, it would have made a lot of sense. For
was there a
the-
post-credit
Be in
scene?
New York.
Yep.
Oh, there was?
There's a mid credits. Yeah, no post.
Yeah, mid-credits.
Okay, so no post.
Yeah, no, whatever.
Okay,
The
so
mid-credit
no, I
scene,
was just because
yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
mid.
The
That made me think that there was one afterwards.
Days of
and I was
Future
like,
Past scene
what?
that we see, which
Yeah, I
is
The
hated
airport 2 years later.
Yeah.
I loved it.
What happened, Greg?
Oh, sorry. Fucking Wolverine's getting ready to go through the metal detector. He says, no, I'll take the pat down. Funny. We got an opt out. Then everything starts vibrating. All the metals vibrate, and
We
Wolverine
see
turns
Trask
around.
Industries.
Yeah, I
doing
couldn't
some
remember.
shit
Why
on
do
the
I know
TV.
Trask? Who's Trask?
They're the
That's
bad guys
the-
in
Peter
Days of
Dinklage.
Future Past. They were talking about building the Sentinels.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The
Wolverine turns around and draws the bone claws out in broad daylight, and it's Magneto who can still stop him because, of course, the adamantium's everywhere else in his body. And he's like, oh, guess what? The same plot of the last 3 X-Men movies are happening again. Somebody's building a fucking thing, need your help. Why would I listen to you? I know you won't. And everything's frozen. You don't notice it for a second. Everything's
dope
frozen.
moment.
And then fucking
dope
Wheels
moment.
comes in. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
I
whoop.
hated it. I hated it.
because it's so long.
It's so
Why
long.
Did he wheel in so long?
Why is it so?
I just wanted him to pop out of a corner and be like,
Yeah.
"Hello, Logan."
guys-
But it was like, no,
He
let me
paused it.
get around this guy. Hold on. Hey, there's 2 people here. Let me reverse and go.
Because
around
because
these
some of
guys.
them were like, we spent a lot of money on that prop being able to actually move.
If you
Let's see
came
it.
back, if you really transplanted yourself into a new body, why not one that had working legs? You know?
Good point.
Great question.
I'm just saying.
No, good point.
I'm
And
like,
how did you transplant into one that looks exactly like your old body?
Well, that's the
No,
whole thing.
no, the
just
guy
like,
that was
let's all
sleeping
just
was
forget
just like
that.
him.
Let's all just forget that point. All right, let's just all forget that that's how this happened. Logan, how did this happen? I have gifts too. Okay, good enough. Whatever. Fine. We're fine.
Then it ends. The reshoots took place in Montreal, including the credits scene where Magneto and Professor X warn Wolverine of a new threat. The scene was contributed by Bryan Singer and Simon Kinberg, writers of X-Men Days of Future Past, as a way to reintroduce Patrick Stewart into the universe and set up their film. Mangold stated that while production of the Wolverine started before Days of Future Past, and thus the film was mostly focused on being a self-contained story, he was able to collaborate with them to make this groove together. And the mid-credit scene was written by Simon Kinberg and shot by the Future Past crew, though Mangold directed the scene to kind of make it all work. I'm 50-50 on it, because on one hand I hate it because I thought the way that they handled it was really drawn
I liked
out and
it.
awkward and shitty, but I loved that unlike a lot of post-credits scenes that we see in a lot of the movies, this one directly was like, here's some plot that we're dealing with in the next movie.
Sure.
And get fucking hyped. We're doing Days of Future Past. And we already knew at that point, but like just seeing that all kind of happen together, I'm like, this is fucking cool.
Oh yeah, I only hated the long wheel in. That's like
Yeah,
the,
so-
the only problem I had with it. It just was awkward.
You're a monster.
that moment
that's
in
what Logan
X-Men
called
1 when
him,
he
yeah.
called him Wheels.
What are you,
was
Wheels?
so
What do
good.
they call you, Wheels?
So it's time for Ragu Bagu.
Hit me.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Ragu.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Bagu.
I'm trying to do the jumps at the
I
same
don't like
time.
when
Jesus,
they.
that's weird. I don't
redo
like the new song.
themes
Yeah,
to
no,
it.
don't
it's
remix it,
easy.
all right?
Don't ever
Don't-
do it again.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Ragu.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Bagu. Just know your
You're not
place.
going to do the diggity
Okay.
baggy? Whatever. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ragu Bagu Vids, the podcast
a little
within a podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Rad Guys Talking Bad Guys.
If you didn't know, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny right now and support us at the $69 level and tweet whatever you want, kind of, from the @RaguBaguVids Twitter account. We urge you to follow it right now. This is where we rank all the villains we've ever seen before. The current standings start like this: 25, These Fucks, Thor 2; 24, Abomination; 23, Ronin, Guardians; number 22, Cross, Ant-Man; number 21, That Lady from Ghost; number 20, Magneto/Phoenix X3; number 19, Loki and Thor; number 18, Obadiah; number 17, Mandarin/Aldrich; number 16, The Vision from Solo; number 15, Mass/Dormammu; number 14, Magneto Brotherhood; number 13, Rockwell Mickey; number 12, Red Skull; number 11, Ultron; number 10, Hydra, Captain America, Winter Soldier; number 9, Stryker; number 8, Baconator, First Class. I forgot about that one. Number 7, Ego, Guardians 2. Number 6, Hell/Grand Masked, Thor Rag. Number 5, Loki Avengers. Number 4, Bacon Guy in Civil War. Number 3, MB Jordan in BP. Number 2, The Vulture. Number 1, Thanos in Affinity in AEIW. Where are we putting fucking
Silver Samurai, Viper, and Radiation.
I put them like
Radiation.
maybe above These Fucks from Thor 2.
You read my
Yup,
fucking mind.
nailed
You read
it,
my
guys.
fucking mind.
That's what I
At
said.
number 25, we have These Fucks. These Ducks from, what's this movie? Wolverine. There you go.
These ducks from
These
Wolverine.
Ducks from Wolverine is how it officially stands on the Raggy Baggy list, number 25.
So now it's time to find out where this ranks in the XCU. Cool, Greg, bring it up, please. Currently, the standings are number 1, X-Men First Class. Number 2, X2. Number 3, X-Men The Last Stand. Number 4, X-Men. Number 5, X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
Where does this land?
To me, it's a debate
So
between is it better than X-Men First Class or not.
it is. It is. This is
And
the best movie we've seen so far.
Yeah,
I'd be down to watch this movie again at some point in my life.
That was what I've been wrestling with, especially after coming off
Really?
of a bad showing of Ragu Bagu, right? Where, okay, coming into this, thinking about it at home, great job, Kev. If you're an audio listener, please go to whatever time code this is in the YouTube video right fucking now.
Oh man!
Oh Jesus!
All the ice up there. It was all. No, I know it's on my face.
My
Yeah, go ahead.
My thought process
Let him live
here.
with his shame.
My thought process
Never done
here
that before, Nick?
100%.
was in fact, that coming into this, I was like, this is number one. I enjoyed myself this entire movie, and part of that is, of course, it is fucking Hugh Jackman. It's his millionth time already doing this role. He knows what it is. We're getting what we want. This being the extended cut added to it, it's definitely a better movie than it was in the theaters for sure. I come to enjoy Yukiko by the end of it. Like I said, I don't have a problem with the other one, Mariko, and him just being basically fuck buddies. I feel by the end of the movie. There's a lot going, and so to feel that coming in and then do Ragu Bagu, where I'm like. But I definitely like Kevin Bacon
To
more.
me, it's Fassbender, McAvoy, and Kevin Bacon.
Which is
and
why-
those keep First Class number one.
But here's the thing is I remember in First Class being bored, and I remember not enjoying segments, and I remember like this feels too long. This movie felt long, of course, Wolverine, but I didn't. And we get to the point of like we're talking about the fighting all the ninjas, and he's held back, and the cinematography is really good, and there is the cursing, and there is the blood, and there is the action, and it is Hugh Jackman anchoring the entire flick, which is great. Whereas I feel like my problems with First Class were, man, I don't care about this whole sect of mutants they're using
None of
here.
the kids.
So when we
None of
cut to
them.
them, it's just dead time for me in terms of enjoyment.
Yeah, it's so close.
I
for
just
me.
wanted a good villain. Like I
hear you.
Yeah,
there
but, like,
was
I just-
nothing good about the bad guys in this movie.
I don't
to
think
me.
you needed a good villain.
There were
I
no
think,
rad
yeah.
guys.
There were, yeah.
Yeah. I loved a
you're
lot
the
about
rat
this
guys.
movie. I disliked a lot. With First Class, there was a lot of things I hated outright, and there was a lot that I did like. But overall, I think that Wolverine, like I said earlier, the bullet train sequence, I think, is my
Yeah.
favorite
So
action
good,
scene.
yeah.
So like that means a lot to me.
In an X-Men
And-
movie?
and also like the character development is really good for Logan. And it just gets weird because like I know that Logan's coming.
Yeah.
So it's like it makes this movie.
See,
weaker to
don't
me.
do that. I don't want you
know.
to do that, and I know you
But
can't.
It's like, but it's like I do feel like First Class does a lot right for an X-Men movie, and I know that.
Think about the scene in
Logan's so much
Argentina with Fassbender.
Yeah, that was a
man.
great moment. Think
Great
about that
scene,
train
man.
scene, dude.
Fassbender,
Dope.
man.
Remember when
Think about all the
Viper
G-
just pulled off
torso.
all her skin?
I ran through the dream sequence stuff with Jean Grey or whatever a lot. I liked all of it, and I did enjoy
I
sitting
love
there
the
on my
dream
couch,
sequence.
actually being cerebral with it. Of like, fuck, is this a dream or is it an echo or is? And not that she's talking about, you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't know she was in it, which that was cool.
oh, nice.
That was a fun
I almost
surprise.
spoiled it for you.
Yeah.
Before you went in, I was like, no, I'm gonna stop because that's a really cool thing.
I was like,
I
Really
just
cool.
think it's telling that towards the end sequence, Greg forgot that Yukio and Viper were fighting. Like that's how unimportant
Yeah,
they
but
are.
like-
last third of this movie
But
is
that
not
didn't
good.
matter. Like that.
But don't forget the last third of Days of Future Past was just as
We're just
bad.
flying around the
Where you're
Cuban
like,
Missile
What
Crisis.
the fuck is
You
happening?
have
Why are there so many
you have
ships?
the
That's what I
coin
said,
going
sorry.
through Kevin Bacon's brain.
That was cool. But
I
in this
remember
one-
him getting the claws drilled into or whatever. Not that I'm saying there. Don't get me wrong. The bacon scene's
Nick,
better.
how do you vote on this?
That's not how you vote. Talk about.
I would
Okay.
probably put it at number one. I think because I think as Andy, to your point, there's so many great parts of First Class, but I think this just
It's an enjoyment whole.
as a whole does, and when it's not good, it has at least the ability to get through that pretty fast. Like the last act of this movie is
It's quick. It's a
there and done.
shorter act.
I love Fassbender. I love McAvoy. I love that relationship. But yeah, to Greg's point, there's just so much fucking
dead
boring
space.
stuff
Yeah.
in First Class that I got to put
Fair
the
enough.
Wolverine number one. Also, if this were the other cut of it, I don't think so.
Oh, absolutely.
If this were the PG-13 cut where all the violence was understated and the character didn't really fully come to fruition as this asshole like rogue, then no. But in this one, this one's closer to Logan than it is to the original cut in my book, and that goes a long way.
I've never experienced this before. We're watching the unrated version change the movie. I think fundamentally for me, where I agree with Nick 100%. Where if this was the
It's a better
theatrical
movie, by
cut,
far.
I wouldn't have put it. In my opinion, I don't think it would go as number one. It would still be number
High
two.
up. Yeah.
But
It still leaves
like
amounts
it just I
above
feel like
Exodus: The Last
this
Stand.
movie definitely like the unrated added a bunch of elements that made it better than like any of these movies on the list. There was a lot that I liked about First Class, but there was a lot that I like legitimately hated and was like, man, this sucks. Like watching First Class, I was disappointed. I was like, this movie is not as good as I remember it. Watching the Wolverine unrated, I was like, midway through, I was like, oh man, this movie's a lot better than I remember.
I
Then
thought-
we saw the
sorry.
Viper parts, but still, that
You hated
Yeah.
Yukio.
Hey, Yukio.
I just didn't think she was a good, like I hated her, but I don't think she mattered to the movie that much.
I liked her.
She was like a pretty big part.
I mean, she was
All
just
right,
as a-
let's vote. We're just spinning around in circles now.
All right. Who thinks it's better than
X2.
X2? Who thinks it's better than
Everybody
First
did.
Class?
Everybody but Andy does. The
So our
motion
new number
pass.
1, The Wolverine. Number 2, X-Men First Class. Number 3, X2. Number 4, X-Men The Last Stand. Number 5, X-Men. And number 6, X-Men Origins Wolverine. So the Wolverine movies, sandwiching these motherfuckers.
Do you remember when the art for this movie was released? They released the first poster, which was that like
the white one with
the white one with. Oh, fuck,
Dude,
man.
even the end credit sequence for this was fucking rad. Where it was like those like Japanese, I don't know what they're called, but
Kanji.
like the kanji posters, like the
Yeah,
vertical
yeah.
ones, and it ends. It just says the Wolverine.
Yeah,
Like,
this is dope.
hot. Next week, we are doing Days of Future Past. A lot of people have been asking. We are doing the Rogue Cut. Have any of you seen it before?
I haven't seen the Rogue
Me
Cut.
neither.
I'm
Me
excited.
neither. Pretty damn excited for it. Until then,
Excite Bike.
Boo.
I hate
Excited
you,
bike, man. It's great.